Hello, there we go. No, green screen's not set up, is it? It's not all going very well this evening, is it? It's all right. I'll sort that in a second. We'll do something. Good evening, guys. How are we? How are we? Right. There's three of us here this evening. You may notice that there's a third man in the top corner. Although we haven't got the green screen, the webcams on. Sorry for the other guys. There's a slight technical issue. We couldn't get them to work, so we've had to go without those. So Mark's here with us. Hello, Mark. It's all going well. I can't. I've just been faffing around for the last like 10, 15 minutes trying to get everyone else's webcams working. I forgot all about my green screen, so I'll literally I'll build it in a second. But what we're gonna do is South Western Expressways once again. Now this is noted as a pre-release stream, as our graphics said. So we are getting there. We're nearly there. We're tying up the loose ends now, really. So what I'm going to be doing this evening is finishing up a little bit of scenery that was left off. This was on a boundary between myself and Mark. So we're literally just by Westbury Station. What we're going to be doing is, first of all, we're going to fin this triangle area. I've already done some today, which I've just been doing all this bit over here. So we're going to finish this little bit on this part there, around this curve, and then this other side in here, in the middle. And then after that, we're going to start off by doing the fine detail on the track side. So we're going to start putting bits and pieces in on that. Not sure how much of that will get done this evening, but we will make a start with it. Welsh Jim, good evening. Matt, good evening. Distant Rider, good evening. Rob Allen as well. Dean, good to see you. Martin RM54. K Pyre Essential, good evening. Ben, good to see you. GWRL fan as well. Round night, good evening. Nope, not tonight. Having a night off from it. Nigel, good evening as well. Hope you're doing well, guys. Right. I'm still recovering last night from a little. I didn't have that much actually. I had a couple of really minuscule glasses. No, no, not tonight. I was a bit fragile on Sunday night. Right, let me just get the old music on. So that's that, and then we're good to go. I can leave the music off actually for a little bit if all three of us are chatting. It doesn't drone out then, does it? Um, whilst doing that, I'm just going to build the. This is so professional tonight. You can see that. Look how prepared we are. It's been an absolute awful 15 minutes. Yeah, why not? We'll have a chat at the same time as doing it. We'll do it. How to build a green screen whilst you're doing a stream. So yeah. Any questions you've got regarding the route this evening, guys, do fire them away. There's Will here as well, so any asset development questions. Mark's here as well, so he'll be able to answer anything regarding stuff on this side of the route as well. Obviously, he's working on sections you've not properly seen in any of the streams, apart from small snippets. I'll show you Westbury as well. Westbury Station is a new model, which literally was just finished off last night. There's one small thing to go on there, but happy to show that very shortly to you. It's all going very well here, as you can see. I'm just wandering around, building my virtual clothes frame. Yeah, please do, please do. hmm Um, you've got a few. I've not got. Did you mention Parson Street and stuff? Yeah, that had to be widened, didn't it? Mm. We certainly have been busy, haven't we? Over the last few months. I mean, this last few weeks, it's been non-stop really. But as you'll have seen, obviously myself streaming over the coming weeks, like over the past weeks, not coming weeks, the past weeks, of how much has changed in areas, as well. Question on QDs is, pardon? Oh, can they not? Oh, I won't. Oh, hang on. Something's happened here. Can you reiterate this? Oh no, something's gone a bit iffy since our last drink. 'Cause we're on different settings here, me and Will. You see, I think there's some speakers that have gone a little bit iffy. Just talk again, guys. No, it's not. It's not doing it. Hang on. Try this one.
Hello.
There we go.
Hello. Hello.
Have you got your system or oh God, I'm loud.
Everything is there. But what it does is because what we do is when we stream, we have different basically the same theme, but we have different usernames. So when we swap over, it sometimes seems to cut out different audio systems.
Right.
So
Well,
that's
while
what's
you're
happened.
doing that,
I'm gonna just carry
can
on
I
doing what I'm
start?
doing. You can
Can
do
I
it
start
again.
from
You
the
did a
top of the
very good job the
question?
first time round when you
I did a
practiced
very
that.
good job, mate. Hello, guys. Thanks for joining us. Tom's just been absolutely useless tonight. I don't know why he's bothered. He might as well just stayed in bed. Anyway, so to answer all the questions in the chat, which I'd already done, but Tom thankfully made my mic turn on.
Hello.
So starting right from the top there, hello guys who's there. Hello Nigel. Hello everybody else in the chat. Anyway, so the first question there was GWR Elfran was asking about new station models. I can't remember what I said here because I've been talking about it for ages. But essentially everything east of Westbury is a new custom station model, so including Westbury because the old one had some pretty bocky LODs and stuff on it, and it wasn't great considering it's on a newish part of the route. So that's been replaced with a new model. Pewsey is a new one. Bedwin, Hungerford, Kintbury, Newbury Racecourse, Fatcham, Midgham, Aldermaston, Thiel, Reading Western, Reading. Reading being in its 2010 spec because the route is based in 2010, so that's pre overhead flyovers and overhead wires and all that, jazz. It's pre all that stuff, so you've still got both Reading depots down there and all that. You've also got a new station model at Freshford. It's not a very complex one, pretty basic. And then we've got another one at Melksham. So the Melksham one's real basic, it's just a single platform. In terms of others, we've also got Oldfield Park's now custom station on the existing sections of the route. You've got Keynsham, Parsons Street. There's been some improvement work at Bristol Temple Meads to put the Parcel Bridge back in because that was still there at the time. And I can't remember. There are some other improvements off the top of my head which I forgot. And I'll work my way down a few more of those questions.
I saw a question regarding QDs. Obviously, they're not
Yeah,
included on the release, are
I
they?
was just going to go with that one. Yeah. So QDs aren't going to be included initially. It's something we're putting thought to, but they would take a lot of setting up. So other things are more important than the development than getting the QDs in. So if they come afterwards, they may come afterwards, but I'm not going to commit to that right now. I understand that people do want them, so it's standard for us to do them. So it may happen, but certainly don't take that as being a given.
That's fair enough. Yeah, it's something we would like to do at some point down the line. On that, but again, it is a big task to get them all working as you would like. If you look back at the MML ones as well, they were quite complex themselves. That's less lines than this.
Yeah, I mean the problem with QDs, I mean, is they're great, and we don't currently have any plans to extend this route. But let's say, for instance, we did want to extend this one in the future, and the problem that we're facing with the MML, those that use QDs, I'm sure we've seen, they often, every time we do an update, they tend to break in some way.
It's I think the track rules or something that change. Or
whenever the track gets a change, yeah, basically it just breaks the QDs. So we end up with all sorts of issues. So we had the Nottingham routing issue that was going wrong and everything. And because we outsource as well the development of the QDs, it obviously means that you've got to rely on other people having time to do them. It's something that we want to bring in house, so we obviously get it under our own control, just for pure ease of doing. But doing that, having the time to develop the route and doing the QDs in a decent manner is not something that's you can just do in 2 minutes. So
No.
that's the main reason that it's not in with this route. I think I would like to say that we will do them, but again, don't take that as we are doing them because we're not as it stands.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Right. So, as you see, if anyone that's joined us, good evening in the meantime. Chief Jack, good evening. How are we doing, mate? Good to see you there. Darren Carey, Melksham is on the hometown. As that station had an upgrade. Melksham currently is getting a custom into it. Callum's working on that, isn't
Yeah, it's kind of custom platform
Yeah.
and sign.
he? Evening, Willow. Adam Egg as well. Good evening. Right.
Chief
So,
Evening,
Jack,
Jack.
I am here. I just didn't want to cut into Mark and Dorkin. Yeah, face cam issues this week, so I'm purely on voice. So you just got Tom to look at today, I'm afraid.
hello.
Can we point out the elephant in the room? The fact that no one could hear Mark talking or me talking whilst Tom was setting up his green screen.
Yeah, it
So
went
there
a
was no
little bit.
system audio.
Everything a little bit wrong. See, so it's not easy setting up the streams like doing a normal stream where I could just click go live. You've got to put a load of settings and all sorts change every stream. It doesn't save certain settings, which is a pain in the backside. So I have to remember to
Sounds
put
like
all
an
them in
excuse.
as well, and then because the webcam stuff wasn't working, it did take us a good quarter of an hour to sort of get to stage where we're going to have to not have the webcam, sadly. But we will have that sorted for the next one.
Yeah, we are still trying to figure out the multi-webcam stuff and facecam, so it is still a work in progress, these multi-streams, but hopefully you guys are enjoying them. I mean, we're definitely enjoying doing them.
I'll take the blame for this one being a bit rusty and a bit scratchy because I kind of showed up at 7:25 and said I'm coming on the stream.
Yeah, I'm going to join. Oh, okay.
I was
Yeah,
just sort of
it's good
sat
to
here
have
in
you on.
Discord talking to him.
Well, I say you're here anyway, so you might as well come and join us whilst you're working. It's good to have
Oh
you
yeah,
on. And obviously, not everyone sees you on the stream very often, so it's nice to have an appearance. We should get Callum in as well, have a full house.
So some more questions there coming through. So Samurai Sword, I went through it all before, so if you want to watch back which models we've got and everything in brief, everything east of Westbury is the new model. And then there's a few other bits that have been added in. In scenario creation, then it would be possible to do exit to exit via Bristol, different lines at Coglow Junction. If you did it in scenario creator, yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be well easy. I'd have no problems. We've actually got one of the scenarios that's included. There's a Torbay Flyer Rail Tour, and that you go from Westbury right round Bristol to Exeter, which is a good over 2 hour run. So that's quite fun.
There's some really lengthy scenarios in this. It's amazing how long the runs are. Even on the high speed runs, they're quite a decent length. If you go across from Exeter down to Reading, I think they're about 110 minutes. Am I right, Mark?
It depends which one you do, because there's one of the scenarios we've done is 1A74 0553 Plymouth to Paddington, and that's a fast, so that stops only at Taunton en route to as far as Reading. So you want to stop at Taunton. Then there's others that stop at every lamppost basically between Taunton and Reading. So in response there to Darren, thanks for the offer there. We're doing it in 2010, and they've actually extended Melksham platform in recent years. So we're doing it before they've extended the platform, and because it's only a small station there, we're just doing the platform and a sign, and then putting other bits of clutter on there because it's a really easy one to do for us. Obviously, we're getting the disused bit of platform that sort of goes towards the road bridge and stuff on there.
Just before I forget, Steve Franklin, thank you very much for the like over Facebook. Good evening to yourself. Owen the Cool 2121, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Good evening to you. Quick one there, DNM 1989. Would be nice to see a free updated common library download for any customer with any route. The way it works, when we do a updated route. So, for example, let's say tomorrow we updated Midland Main Line. That would receive the most newest common library. As far as I'm aware, I don't think that common library will then go into all the other routes until there was a required update. Am I right, Mark?
That's correct, yeah.
So basically, if we was to update something, that would then receive the most up-to-date build of the CL. The next route to get the updated CL is going to be this route. So obviously we're not working on any other routes in the meantime, doing any bugs and such. We are going to be doing some bug fixes on other bits and pieces. So MML will receive that at some stage. We do have a few bits to revisit in terms of some support stuff there. So that will also see it. And then if any other routes we do need to go to, that would see it too. Hope that explains that one. JB, good evening. I'm currently just north of Westbury, so Westbury Station's just there. We're just working on the triangle currently. What I'll do is actually, I will just nip in onto Westbury for a second, just give you guys a quick look at the new one. So this was made only just gone over the weekend. I think Sunday night. I think the updated build of the actual model came in. All the clutter came in yesterday evening, so all the signage came in. A couple of new ones came in this afternoon. So last night I ploughed away, putting all the bits of clutter in onto the new model. This was, as Mark put in before, to obviously get rid of the older model. It had LOD issues, so at certain angles you may have seen it where some of the posts were missing, like if you look away and stuff like that. So we went for the full hog and just got a whole new one made, and hope you agree. It looks very, very nice as well. Callum's been working very hard on this one.
Yeah. In response there to Adam, why is it set in 2010? So initially the route wasn't. It's not a JT route. It is now, but it wasn't before. It was a couple of chaps, Peter and Paul, Jeans. It was a third-party creation. That's Signal, by the way. There, might need low, and I was looking at. It was a third-party creation by Peter and Paul Jeans. Unfortunately, Peter passed away earlier this year. And it was those chaps that decided, obviously, to set it in 2010. Personally speaking, it's made it quite challenging for us, but personally speaking, I think that's a fantastic thing to do because of all the stock we've got in TS to do it with.
You're not missing
So
really
when we
anything, are you?
purchased it, they'd done it already pretty much in the 2010 era. So, yeah, it was their decision to do it in 2010. As I say, from a personal standpoint, quite happy to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, signals are floating currently. Those are getting dropped down into the new, the old style gantries. There were some modern ones in there originally, so they're still at the height of the original ones. The only thing missing on the station is currently is the back fencing. There's a new loft to come for that, and then that will be placed in the next day or two when Callum's finished doing Melksham Station. So that will all get put into place there as well.
So the reason we have floating signals, because I know it looks really weird why they're floating. The reason for that is, so Tom, this is Tom's area of the route. He's been working on this section of the route. He does scenery on this section, but when you route building as a team in TS, you can only have one person can control of track and I guess a master build of the route, you would call it. So we swap between who has control of the track, and at this point I have control of the track because I'm sort of all over the place, fixing bits, changing bits here and there. But Tom is obviously in control of scenic items. So the gantries are scenic items. Now, what they were before is that they were the really big LED modern gantries. And for this route, Callum's made us some new, old 1980s style gantries. So the old rusty metal and stuff like that. So we've put those in now at the stations, like Westbury and that. But I've just not lowered the signals down because I need Tom to send me the scenery files so I can see the new gantry positions. Then I can lower the signals in. I do actually have that now, so that'll be getting done probably this week.
Yeah. We do have a doing build, don't we? On a Thursday, so all those sort of jobs are done on a Thursday before the big build goes out to the testers on the Friday morning.
Yeah, Adam, they're all on there. Network I've got all the timetables on there. The freight one's sort of hidden away a bit, but should be able to make some decent scenarios.
Yeah, we used the 2010 ones, didn't we? 2009 and 10 we've had to use, haven't we?
Yeah, we've had no problems making those for the route scenarios. So yeah, down there, Box Tunnel is on the route, yeah. So you can go along and drive through Box Tunnel. That's on the section up towards Finley Junction from Bathampton. We've also got new models. Yeah. I mean, and that's another thing that I know people ask, why is it not gone to Swindon? Sort of preempting that question because I know it'll come. Again, I'm not sure on this one, but my suspicion is that unfortunately Peter, when he was developing it, sort of fell into ill health before it got to Swindon. And it's just not viable for us to then extend it 16 miles and still be able to make a healthy, profit at the end of it all. 16 miles would take us quite a few weeks to actually
That's it.
do
We'd
it
have
to
to
a decent
push
standard.
stuff back even further as well, won't we? And obviously more models
So
need making, and it
I do
is a big
appreciate
job.
we'd like to do that as well, but simply not as easy as it sounds. I do believe it was their intention at the time originally to do it though.
I think it was because
Um,
on the fly out menu it is in there as Swindon, but it just obviously sadly I don't think they ever managed to get it down there.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
yeah. But yeah, that's the reason Swindon's not in there really. So we've been able to do more of a better job on the rest of the route. After Chippenham is in, so the furthest you can drive eastwards is Chippenham north eastwards, I guess, on the
I got the map up for a second.
GW is Chippenham.
So
Obviously, you can drive to Reading.
as Mark was saying, yeah,
It's
Chippenham.
further east.
Where we are, you can see on the map is that little area there that triangle is. So zoom right out, and you can see it's a monster of a map. All in, is it about 230 miles, included with all routes, something like
Something
that.
like that,
Yeah,
Something
so
around that number, I believe. Yeah.
yeah, some of there. Chippenham's obviously up here, so that's your section through Melksham on this line here, through Trowbridge, down to Westbury there. The main new section obviously extends from Pewsey. So Pewsey was on the original old version of this South Western Expressways route, which ended there. The extension then takes you all the way through via Newbury into Reading there. As you can see, the old track layout. The old depots are in there as well. What is the random small bit of track to the left line of Chippenham? That bit? Do you mean? Small bit of track to the left of the line. I don't know. There's that bit. This bit on the top.
Oh,
Or is this one?
there is a tiny little bit
that?
somewhere. No,
That-
there's a tiny little bit. No, it's below you. It's not connected to the track. There is a tiny bit, and I'm not entirely sure what it is, to be honest.
Oh, right. Yeah, that thing. I don't know.
That's been there ever since the original. It's been there
Maybe they
since the
just done
original
some. There was a
development.
piece of testing. It was like left there for something. I don't
I
know.
might delete that now, actually.
See if we can find it.
I'm gonna go and I've got to have a look myself whilst I'm in
There's
the route,
there's
so I'll
another
take
little
a look
speck
in a
of it
minute.
over here, like randomly in the middle of
Yeah,
nowhere.
I'm looking at them. I'm looking at them now. I don't know what they're meant to be, whether they were testing like what track looked like or something. I actually can't see anything.
Strange.
Oh no, there it is. Oh, I
found
know
it.
what it is. So the old days JT power lines, when you put the power lines in, you used to have to lay track to actually get them
Oh,
to
right.
work. And I guess that's what it is because I've just found some under a power line, so I've deleted
strange.
those. So
I've never seen that before. That's a different way of doing it.
that's the
Well
way they
spotted.
had to do it originally. We made, I think they were made for Kyle Line or Western
Yeah.
Mainlands around that time. Yeah, it was a bit of a faff. Trying to
Oh,
find
so
where the actual piece of track is.
Never seen that method being done before like that. Bit before my time, obviously, route building with JT. Did I see your last message about floating ballast? Where would that be?
Just a couple up. Has that embankment loft been lowered too early so the track ballast is floating?
Over here. Oh, that bit there. So this bit here will be a job for Mark just to re-edit the track. So what it needs doing, currently it's on the wide ballast shoulder. So the ballast literally comes out, as you can see there. So we have a narrow one as well. So we'll have it set to narrow to just before the abutments for the bridge, and that'll sort itself out then. It's just that, again, as Mark was saying before, because I don't have control of the track at the moment. If I gain the control of the track for whatever reason, which I do sometimes get, if Mark's not touching anything, I'll go and sort these little bits and pieces myself. But if Mark's doing a mass work in areas, which he'll be coming over here at some point anyway, so all I'll do is I'll put it onto our testing site, which we use Podio. So I'll put all the bugs on there, whatever I see need doing, and he'll go through that website when he does his sweep with the bugs, and he'll just go and edit it.
Yeah, I mean, by comparison, I've still got the old embankments actually in place there, so
Yeah, these literally got changed today.
He hasn't sent me the update yet, so I can't do it until he sends me that, which will be Thursday.
Thursday, yeah, so another couple of days, yeah. I only literally put these embankments in this morning. This has just been the last little bit needed doing, so I ripped everything out last night before I went to bed, and then was ready for today. Yeah.
Well, most of the track originally gets laid with wide track anyway, doesn't it? And then you tweak
Yeah,
it
I think Mark swapped all the route over to wide, didn't you, originally? As a
Yeah,
default.
I swapped the, because obviously it was originally JT tracks, so swapped it to the Goo track. and then just swapped it to the wide variant throughout, and then we have to narrow it down as we get to bridges and stuff, which is a sort of annoying process at times, but it's not a very slow one, so it's alright.
No, this is quite a good instance of differences of route. You can see here there's a big massive solar panel field, loads of them. But if you go back in time on Google Maps, so what I have on the other screen, I've got Google Earth Pro open because I can go back in time. It's a shame you can't go back in time with this, to be quite honest. It would be quite good, but yeah, these are actually here, so none of those will actually be in the route. But what is there is still obviously the outline of the in the field, so that is still there. So that will have a fence going around it, and all that up there, and the bushwork that's still there. So it's got to make note for these things that haven't obviously made it into the.
Solar panels weren't invented, were they, in
No,
2010? Really?
I think they were quite a newish thing, weren't they? Really, back then, they were quite newish,
Now
weren't
that is a statement. Solar panels were not invented in 2010.
Well, solar panels, solar obviously wasn't wrong,
well,
weren't it? But yeah,
Little did you know, the sun was not invented until 1992.
Sorry,
so,
mate.
you know.
Sorry, mate.
You've upset him
Sorry.
now, Mark.
I've upset him. He's been quiet all this time. He's just been
He's been
waiting for me
waiting.
to say something stupid, and as soon as I said something stupid, he's there.
This is what I do. I lurk for someone to say something wrong.
Waits for the ammo.
Don't have to do much looking when Tom's about.
Wait,
Oh,
Tracing guy. Good evening. How are you doing, mate?
Evening, TTSG.
So just mark the field out. The field's there, of course, but it'll be probably put some bits of grass in there and some bushes around it anyway. But other than that, that's about as much as we'll go into that. Just gonna jot these down.
Chief Jack, in terms of Podio, what is Podio? So Podio is basically I don't know what to call it. Really. It's a website that allows
it's like
you
a
to
forum, basically, isn't it? It's
essentially,
like
yeah. You can
create tickets for bugs and stuff.
Yeah, testers can just easily post bugs, tell us the lawns, and it's we've got a customizable sort of back to it.
Once we visit them bugs, we can then set them to say they've been fixed, need testing, and then they can see what needs testing on our next builds, and then they can clear them as approve them for fixed. Then we know everything's good and tickety boo, and then we can move forward in that respect. Same with scenarios as well. It's not just for scenery, and everything can go on there. You can put notes in for your scenarios, track linked items as well. So it's quite a handy program to use.
And it works. It's by the same company who do the file sharing software we use. So it's got better integration for stuff like that because we use their share file, which is also by the same company, for sharing internal files and getting between each other and stuff like that for stuff that's too big for Discord and whatnot.
So as well, in a little bit, we'll give you some information regarding some prices for the route. I've been authorised to actually start mentioning this. So in a little while, we'll cover that as well. I've got some stuff from Scott to pass to you, which I'm sure you'll all be excited to hear and find out about.
So big news coming tonight, yeah.
Yeah, there's all sorts. We may even sort of give you some sort of hints and that as to when we're sort of aiming for a release, because I've been told I can sort of give a rough idea to you as well. So stick with us. We'll cover it. Right. So next up, I'm going to put Google Overlay back on here because I need it on this bit. If it'll work.
A lot of promises tonight, aren't you, mate?
Full of promises.
Full of promise.
Full of promises. Full of promises, and we've got a third man with us. It's a big evening, gracing us with your presence. You should come on more often, mate.
Hang with commoners like us.
Should come on more often. We're going to do a Steam driving stream again at some point. We definitely will do that. I think that went down quite a treat, and everyone did enjoy it. So we need to put something together. It would be quite nice, I think, to do stuff on this route. With probably get something put together and have a drive around. Quite fun. There's some.
I'm doing the white ball challenge.
Is that what we're going to call it? The white ball challenge.
That's what we used to call it when we used to go on the Torb Express back in the day. As we used to leave extra on an evening, one of the coach stewards just always go around our coach and first couple of coaches in standard and do the white ball challenge, 20p to enter, and then the winner gets like the pot at the end. Whoever gets the speed closest into white ball tunnel.
That's quite based.
We had it about £3 or something daft, but it was quite fun.
Sydney Gardens. I can't show Sydney Gardens this evening, unfortunately. Mark's work. He has actually been working on it today, so next week. Next week we should be able to have a good look around that area, because we'll have that build as I say, I think he's still working on it now.
I'm still working on it now. Yeah. So
So yeah, still in
um,
progress. Quite a headache of an area, isn't it? I believe.
yeah, it's been very difficult to do, but
From what I
always
saw
made it
earlier, though,
easy about
it
all that
is looking
stuff.
really good.
It's very much a cab orientated sort of bit, so because it's so high on one side. I've not really gone over the top of the scenery on the top because it's so difficult to do it. But the gardens and everything, as the little wall, because we're doing it in 2010 before they put the wooden fence up next to the wall, so you'll be able to get some nice screenshots down there.
Dean, we can't hint at anything about Steam arriving to TS World 2. That's not our area. You'd have to ask DTG that one. Unfortunately, we don't have any of that information. Right, I'm gonna pop a load of this down the side of this section here.
Evening, James Chick.
Evening, James. How are we doing? I'm just making sure that obviously when I'm copying and pasting this over as well, it's not floating. It's obviously sitting to the contours of the terrain. Again, speaking of terrain, of course, is with Sydney Gardens, that sort of thing. You've had that issue with the terrain as well, haven't you? With the mesh, it's not been
It's been a nightmare.
forgiving, has it?
So Will's kindly made me some custom. Every bridge in Sydney Gardens is now a custom bridge. Some wall lofts for either side. The tunnels, obviously, as well. So the way he's done that's helped me a lot there, but it's still an absolute pain in the butt trying to actually get the mesh to work with it. But it looks decent. It's more like I say for cab view. Don't go flying around over the cutting because you're not going to see anything out of this world.
So it's a slightly different approach to how we usually do cuttings. Like we provide it all into like separate sort of picky bits, like the wall loss to create the cutting and the bridges to go over it, so it all slots together nicely.
I think the last cutting as well, the last main proper cutting probably would have been Leicester. Am I right? Might have been Leicester cutting, might it? In terms of a big full-on asset without piece by piece.
No,
Well,
Reading West was a pretty big one.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, because Reading West is it's raised section, isn't it? Sorry, that's got the bridges built on it. So I'm thinking cutting as in like going through it. But yeah, you did the grass banking one there. Sorry. Yeah. So I mean, everything's sort of like mashing into one here. It's been such a busy couple of days, well, couple of weeks actually now. It's,
Couple of days.
No, this is what I mean.
His brain's
yeah,
frazzled.
my brain's frazzled. It is. But the light is
we're
at the end there now.
It's all right, well, it's all right. Well, he's got his close friends here to help him out because we're also helpful towards our friend Thomas.
Holding the torch, keeping it going.
No judgment here. No judgment whatsoever.
Only off stream.
It's true. We bully him horrifically off stream.
Adam will be going over them sort of details in a little while. We'll cover all bases. I'm going to give you some information regarding some bits like the pricing and all discounts as well. We've got that information. So I know that's some of the questions that have been asked in our previous stream. So we managed to get the information ready to pass on to you, which came through last week. I think I got that as an email ready to put on here.
Good stuff to hear there as well, James. Well done.
Oh, excellent stuff.
Did work experience back in the day with GNAR at Wait for Wesker, and still remember that. It was fantastic. So hope you enjoy yourself with GWR.
Is that what you did as your work experience?
Yeah, I worked on Westgate Station for 2 weeks. It was quite an experience.
So I tried doing Blackpool North, but yeah, I got denied. It was all going through, but then something happened at last minute, and it didn't happen. So I ended up in a garden centre. A bit of a downfall.
I did 2 weeks at Westgate, but I still remember the biggest thing I remember is some woman running onto the station.
Yeah.
Like panicking. There was a Voyager sat on the station. It was going to, south towards Sheffield and everything. She shouts, "Is this train for Doncaster?" And I goes, "Yeah." And I was like, she got on the door. She was like,
Uh-oh.
Oops.
Better than my work experience. I just did an architecture firm doing like 3D modeling for some people.
Oh, that's good.
Whoa.
I feel like I had the short straw here with Garden Centre. Watering plants for 2 weeks.
Like it, mate.
Watering plants and painting and I'd actually do some painting and stuff, like painting a store up and that. Because they were opening a second shop.
Painting, don't you? Painting your fence.
Yeah, I've been doing quite a bit of painting recently. I have. Still got stuff to do.
You were
sort of
giving
on
it the
hold.
big I am about your painting fence over a week.
It's still not finished yet. I've sort of a bit on hold at me, obviously, with very busy area at the minute, but that will be finished.
Suppose you didn't start live streaming it.
I could do if
Paint
you want to
fence,
see it.
fence painting stream.
The new JT stream, fence painting. Right, this is a little compound area, so I've got my map up here as well on Google, side by side, just so I can compare. It's not changed really at all, to be quite honest. Slight difference is there's some fencing here. This fence seems to have gone in more recent times. I'm just going to put some wooden fencing down the side of this, just to separate it from obviously the running line there. Right, so that, just make sure it's not floating as well, which it's not, which is good.
But I'm sure if it is floating, mate, we won't let you live it down.
No, well, to be quite fair, these have got really long legs on them anyway, so it's not bad at all to work with. It's really quite handy, especially when you've got little dips where
This
you
is one
can't
of the ones
really
I made,
flatten.
isn't
Yeah, it is. This is number 8 out of the
Number
out of the
8.
12. My favourite one. This is the dirty version, so it's got a bit more like fadiness to it. I do
A
like
bit more
this one.
character.
So that's that.
I mean, to be fair, like when it comes to assets for this route, I mean, me and Callan did a quick count the other day, and it's approaching 300 custom assets now for this route alone, including what
From
we've
the
done for
from the
Christmas
planned about
West.
120.
Yeah, from the planned 120, we've turned around and done 300. So
it's a mammoth numbers. It's probably is it the biggest one to date, that I think, isn't it? Definitely.
yeah,
It
definitely.
tops
Well,
MML's stuff, I think.
if you include the signals and Metline, it gets close, but you know that's only because there were 130 different custom signals for Metline.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
the way we've done this is sort of spread it all around as different assets. So you'll not see an asset every 5 miles, every 5 minutes like you do on Midland Main Line. So you'll not see every single bridge. So you'll see a lot more common library bridges in place and stuff like that. But particularly on the new bit from Westby to Pewsey, you should see, Westby to Reading, sorry, or Pewsey to Reading, you should see a lot more new stuff on there. The other bits of the route, especially the Bristol to Exeter, hasn't had as much added to it, but then it's had a lot of key features added to it. So it's had a complete scenery rework. So particularly when it comes to foliage and line side buildings and all that sort of thing. So that's all been completely changed on the on the Bristol to Exeter section. But also then we've got other new bits like Whiteball Tunnel now is fully custom. And I can't even begin to list all of them. That doesn't
The
suggest as
list
well
is
have 50
insane.
things. But the idea is to
Whiteball
make sure that
mega. I'm just gonna put that in there.
to
It's
make
so
sure
changed so much.
the whole thing at least is really decent from the cab view, especially on the older sections of the route. Because obviously people know how dated they were. Essentially, Bristol to Exeter was the original Bristol to Exeter route. So we completely ripped out everything that's trackside, and where stuff like terrain was massively off, like Whiteball didn't even have a cut in, for instance. We've put the the big embankments in there and all that sort of thing to try and give it the right sort of look.
It doesn't mean there aren't any new customs in the older parts, like Bristol Depot Meads has that parcel depot building now, which it didn't have before.
Yeah,
that's a new one.
Yeah, it had it on. Well, it had it on Bristol to Exeter, but it didn't have it on Western Mainlands because for that it had actually been removed by that point.
Well, it had the bridge, but it didn't have the building. I don't think.
No,
that
it
was
didn't have it didn't have the bridge on Western Mainlands. It had none of it. So what we've done now with Bristol Temple Meads is we've got the parcels bridge on the end, but we've also got the parcel building as a custom. I think that's what Will means. Is the massive building that used to be next to Temple Meads Station, the Parcel Force Depot, I think it is, a Parcel Force building.
Yeah, Parcel Force.
We've now got that in. So the idea was to make sure that sort of dominates the whole view. It's stuff like that I think that it was lacking, really. So the main idea is to give it those notable things. There's other things, Stoke Cannon Girder Bridge and the River Parrot Bridge at Bridgewater, for instance. All that sort of thing. If you think it's a notable area, it's probably been done to some respect.
We've sort of gone for the landmarks, haven't we? Line side landmarks, mainly.
Yeah, the Willow Man's in as well, or Wicker Man as I thought it was called, but the Willow Man's in now as well at Bridgewater as a distant asset to basic.
I don't think I've actually seen that in the route yet. I've not actually clocked it where it is.
It's
I've seen the asset, but I
I
remember when Will
Nope. Nope.
when Mill made it, showing me that, but I haven't actually seen it in the route yet, so I look forward to seeing that. We've got the white
Yeah.
horse as well. Currently it's in my build. It was in, but we had a little bit
Well, you
of.
could place it. You could
I
place
could
it.
place it actually, and
Well,
then
you
take
could
it back
place
out.
it and then take it back out. Yeah.
Where's it go? It's over here, isn't it? Somewhere. There it is. It is
I've
in,
actually
but
seen it, okay.
when we did our, 'cause we have it as a global asset basically, so we have to have a specific file that then goes into the main build. Mark's added it back in, so it will come back in on our next build anyway. So that's why I don't need to keep it in here. But I'll show you just quickly. If I can remember where it is. Westby Horse.
So,
There
yeah.
it is.
In response there to Jack on about routes way longer, well, I mean that's obviously one thing is that the fact the route is way longer for starters. We couldn't put as many in anyway because it's such a long route. If we put the same amount of assets in as we put into Midland Main Line and the same level as investment, can you just imagine what the price would be? Because obviously, if you go and buy Sheffield to Derby, you're getting 35 miles for 25 quid or whatever it is. If you did the same level of stuff on some of these routes, then obviously you'd end up with a wacky price at the end of it all. I know you're going to go into the pricing anyway, aren't you, at some point?
I am going to be going into the pricing in a little while. There's Aussie. Aussie. But yeah, you
So
can
yeah,
see
they
that
have
for
to
miles.
be spread out. Yeah, well, you run it in that weather with sort of.
It's got TSA cloudy on currently.
You run it with like hazy weather, but if it's not as hazy as Tom's got it, then you can see it's sort of around Fairwood Junction. I think you can see it from a little bit further back.
You can actually, I think you can literally see it from the beginning of where the triangle starts. I've seen it from here. So if you sit on this sort of view, if it's on a proper clear day, you can see the. It sits on that hill. You can see it. You may even be able to see it further. To be honest, it has got the highest
From
LED.
the other side of. You can see it from just about the other side of Westborough. But you've got the weather on that you can't see it.
I gave it a pretty big
got
render distance anyway, so it should be visible even if not global for quite a distance.
Yeah, it's.
Have you taken it back out?
Yeah, I'm going to take it back out because otherwise it'll cause issues. We're not doing any driving this evening, Train Sim Guy. We will be doing some driving next week, though. Spoilers. On this route. First proper drive as well on stream. So we'll be doing some stuff. You can see it from yours.
Can't see
what that
White
one?
Toss at Fisk. No, he's on about White Toss at Fisk from.
I thought we meant
can't see
this
that
one.
from Cass.
Actually, Westby
Can't see
from
Can't
Castleford.
see out from Cass. Can't see out from Cass from Smog, can you? Sorry, I'm not on Train Sim TV.
Poor Matt.
Sorry, mate.
He's not sorry.
He's not. What am I doing now? So I need to put a few more single bushes down here. And then I need to put one of these ones in. Not that one. Sorry, number 6 I think it is. Nope, number 4. There we go. So that's that sort of sorted. Just going to double check with my map. So I need to put. I'm going to put some 2Ds on this straight section of the hedge there. No music, no, because there's 3 of us talking. We've left it off, because otherwise it's going to sort of like drone us out.
But that's an excuse that you forgot to put it on.
No, I've got it. I actually have it all
To be
set up.
fair,
It's
if
ready.
you put it on, I can put it on quietly in the background.
So if I turn it on, you can be DJ, can't you?
I can be DJ.
Go DJ. It's on.
I loved it when you came on this month tonight without any green screen or anything after telling
Didn't turn up or anything, did I? I just turned up with myself. Didn't even turn up with my crew.
I just love the thought of like complete silence whilst Tom is setting up his green screen, just talking to nobody because he didn't turn our mics on.
Good job I was talking, weren't it?
Oh, it wasn't talking. I was trying to explain the station models for 5 minutes.
No, yeah, so it was literally just me building the green screen. How comical. Must try harder.
We're professional, you know.
Just gonna change them over to TSA ones. There we go. Mark and Will doing do a duet later. You're gonna single on later, guys.
That'll be Christmas do.
As if you could sing at the Christmas do. You could barely stand, mate, let alone sing.
Well, it's been known to happen.
Myth and rumour.
Been known to happen on live streams before, never mind in Christmas news. I'm stone cold sober tonight, don't worry.
So am I. Right, that's nearly sorted on that side there.
Yeah, I think those 3Ds that you can see there, Jack, aren't what Tom's placed. I suspect they're what the original devs probably placed.
Which ones?
He's on about those to the left of the 2Ds. It's behind those 2Ds.
Oh, them two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, he's got a bit of a delay on.
there's two random. Yeah, them. Yeah, I didn't see them actually.
At the back of the field, so yeah.
Yeah, get there going. We don't need them that far away. Yeah, that is another thing. Because there was quite a few. So I can see one there as well. Look. Anything sort of like mega far away, such like these, we've aimed to get rid of as many as I can. You don't need them that far away.
Obviously, the original devs placed those, so we
I think some of them did get swapped in at some stage anyway. They must have done some swaps.
Possibly.
Because obviously this is the original part of the route, and I think they've sort of swapped them in eventually onto
I still see one in the background there. They'll still be dotted around, I imagine, at release, because this over the 230-mile route, we can't get rid of every single one.
Got rid of a lot of them.
Oh,
Evening, Barry. How we doing? We're on South Western Expressways to Reading, just doing some scenery work on the triangle at Westbury currently. Not too far off now with this bit, and then I'm going to do some trackside cluttering. I've just got to do this line down here. I'm just going to finish this a little bit on this curve here. What I was doing actually, I was putting that in earlier. I just randomly seemed to have stopped. I think I might have gone shopping. I think I got about there and I just stopped. Never finished that line.
Oh yeah, the famous shopping trip.
Yeah, the famous shopping trip today. Got many foods. There we go. Just so it's not too bare on the top of that loft there. Right, just gonna check to see if there's anything to be dotted in these little areas here, which I think there is some bushes. So there's nothing on that section. It's some trees here to go in. So go back to the 3Ds.
So right now, what are you using for reference? Are you using the cab ride or?
I'm using Google Earth at the minute, just to see what the trees are. We haven't actually. I don't think there's a cab ride in 2010 that comes around this curve.
Daniel, thank you very much for the like.
Good evening, Daniel. Thank you. Yeah, so with Google Earth, you can have a good idea what type of trees are where. You can sort of make out when they're more built-out trees. If is that the word to use there, really? Large trees or not. That's probably the better way of doing it, really. So
you won't think you did work experience in the garden centre, wouldn't you?
Well, I didn't work with trees.
He wasn't in the tree department.
I wasn't in the tree department.
He was in the painting department.
Clearly, all he did was painting and water it.
I actually fed the fish as well. They had loads of like aquariums, so I had to keep keep on top with the fish stuff as well. So I was very versatile.
In the gardening centre.
I was very it was a bit of a mixture. It was aquatic stuff and all that sort of stuff as well.
Coming next week, This Is Your Life with Thomas Harrison.
Very versatile. We're literally on the triangle at Westbury, Barry. So Westbury Station's there. We're just to the north of it. So we're just working on the avoider curve. Just getting the last bits of foliage on there. And then we're going to do this little section here as well. And then we are done with that. We'll show you a few little bits and pieces as well this evening. We're not going to show you Reading. We were going to. But we're gonna save it. Because as we can, and because Mark told me to. But yeah, well, we're going to show you very, very soon. Again, you'll find out that sort of information very soon.
We want to keep some of our cards to our chest.
We do.
You know?
I mean, you have seen the model, so you'll have seen the model a couple of weeks ago. It has changed actually a little bit since then. Some textures have changed. Other bits of model details have slightly changed as well. So yeah, we'll keep you wanting to see that because we can. Can we see Bristol to Exeter? That's Mr. Mark's area there. I don't know if am I allowed to show anything there? Have you got anything I can show?
Well, you can go down there. I mean,
little
it's
flat.
changed quite a bit since
Yeah.
the last build. So, I mean, Taunton, you can't really show anything at Taunton because I've
No.
completely torn Taunton out in the last week.
Taunton.
Torn Taunton up. So Taunton in Swex, I believe in the original it had like where the water tower was and everything. They'd put the housing estate in there, even though for 2010 it shouldn't have been there. So I've taken that back out. The big overbridge on the road. So we got Silkmills Bridge has gone in as a custom. We got also the other road bridge that goes over the top of Taunton is now a custom. And then I've relayed the track through Taunton Station because for some reason it had been laid like Monaco F1 circuit. So that's been ripped out and relayed. And there's similar job taking place at Exeter as well to try and make it go close to the platforms. We've actually only just discovered the source files for the original stations, so not sure whether we're going to have time to improve the original Bristol, Exeter, Taunton stations before release. I mean, the source files are about like at least, I want to say 12 years old.
It's got a bit dark in it.
So they're rather old. So they're going to be the original stations in terms of the look of the station, unless we saw by some miracle have time to do it before release. But the scenery around them's obviously changed quite a bit.
Oh, cheers, Barry. Is this the curve? Where's that gantry? Trying to figure out where that gantry is now.
Well, W107, and you can see the horse behind you, so it's going to be
Was
just
it
behind
over
you
there?
there. No, it'd be behind you. I wonder if those signals are meant to be on a gantry behind you.
Them ones.
Which signal's that?
W213.
W107. I'm guessing it might be on the bit coming into Westbury. I'm going to move those markers back. From the Mayhead side.
Oh, hang on. There's there, isn't there? I mean, that's opposite curve, isn't it? It's here somewhere, isn't it?
No, I think it's... I don't know. It might be further south, Tom.
Is it there? I don't know where that is.
I think it's further
there's
south
many
on
junctions.
the way into Westbury.
Hmm.
Say,
I don't
hello?
Quite... Hello? I don't quite know where.
Shouted South Westbury about 8 times. You know for bloody Westbury.
Southwest.
Oh,
Oh, I know where it is. It's this one, isn't it? It's this gantry. It's that.
yes, that's the one I was shouting about for the last 5 minutes.
It's nice if someone else abusing Tommy's stream for once.
Don't
You
worry
ever feel
about
like
the
you're just
signals.
hitting your head on a... Ever feel like you're hitting your head on a wall?
Most of the time, yeah.
That gantry needs to change back. This is the one we're going to change back, isn't it?
Yeah, because I don't like that gantry now. It's got two connected to each other.
It's not the right type anyway. I'll put the other one back in there. Go find them. CL signal. It's that one.
Oh, he's not upset. He's probably upset with me for bullying him on stream.
Bad mark.
Bad, Mark.
Bad.
I've not been 60 chancing recently. I can't get out of the house at the minute. We're too busy working. Can't go anywhere.
Not even been to the pub yet.
It's going to the pub definitely, but it won't be a wise idea for me before release.
Definitely not. Goodness. I went to a pub the other day, actually.
Was
Signals
it the
will
Williams
need
pub?
No,
slightly moving.
it wasn't. It was platform 33 in Southfields. It was lovely.
Oh. Yeah. Signals will need slightly moving onto there, but it's on that right one again there. You playing out on Saturday, Mark?
What, we're going out on bikes or something? What do you mean?
I don't know. Matt's going to come and knock on for you, mate.
You want a biker gang now, Mark?
I don't know, mate. I don't know what's happening.
Is Mark coming out to play?
I'll be working, I think. What was that snap to? Yeah, it's tab to snap to.
Yeah,
track.
tab. So if I get just a tree, for example, you see how it jumps on there. Probably not really the best one to show, actually.
You're lacking out, Matt. Too much Yorkshireness for this stream.
There you go. You see with the line there, you can see where it snaps to there. He won it. Right, what have we got down this section? Just trying to figure out if there's any more fencing to put down there. Again, this goes down to another little sort of like access section. This sort of like ends here. I originally had a fence in here, but I've ripped that fence up as it was a little bit on the wrong side, so I've sorted that out. Just looks like a bit of a dirt track that just goes to nowhere. In 2010, there didn't seem to be anything there as such. It just looked like a little turning circle, really, for any, well, I assume, network rail vans or whatever. So just put the earth gravel in there. Just put that on. So you see now, in 2021, they've actually got bits and pieces here. So it obviously still does get used, but there'll not be much here on ours. Oh, it's a bit upbeat, this music, isn't it?
Oh no, I've got it muted right now.
Oh.
I'm a great DJ.
DJ.
DJ's muted his own tunes.
Because if I listen to it, I've got to listen to Tom twice. It's bad enough listening to him once.
You said it.
Oh, I've got him muted anyway.
Can't hear any music. I'll turn it up a little.
I don't think people can hear the music.
Will's probably just playing it to himself.
This is that the build up to the release music where it gets all happy. I don't think I've heard this one
You
before.
selected the wrong playlist again, Tom.
I put the Tedeshes on, didn't I?
There we go. Make the most of it, guys, because this stream will get taken down straight away, probably.
I'll let DJ sort that out. I did click, because I actually do have on my screen Tejaz's, but I pressed play. And it's got something totally different on. Alright. Whilst the DJ sorts the musics, let's get some foliage.
That's completely wrecked it now.
Have we broke it now?
Yeah, I broke it.
Oh.
I can't control it. You got to press play again on your machine.
I can't.
DJ's broken decks.
Broken. I can't import it.
What a
Right,
pair.
one sec. I'll close it on my end.
I'll close
There
it
you go,
mine
now
as
give it a
well.
try.
Oh, go on. No, mate.
Bugged.
It's proper broke.
Probably getting flagged for like.
I'll just close it.
Yeah,
Alex will
close
be in
it.
court next week for copyright strike.
It's still
That's it.
playing. I've closed it.
Game
It's still
taken down.
playing. What's it
Still
doing?
play it.
It's still playing. I've shut it down fully. Well, I've got about
You've got a better way of
seven
doing
instances apparently of Spotify open. I don't know how that's happened.
Oh, that happens to me from time to time.
Yeah, it's gone now.
I don't think so, Adam. There certainly won't be anybody from in-house at JT because
No,
Again,
I did
it's-
the MML ones and that
You
last
get-
time.
yeah.
But we haven't got as much time on our hands this time round, unfortunately. I wouldn't mind maybe doing something, even if it was just after. I don't know how that'll go, but there'll be plenty of stuff. Obviously, we've got plenty of streams. There's gonna be plenty of streams still after it because we've got so much we can show on the route. We'll be showing it for a little while yet in terms of driving
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
there's definitely to show. Definitely loads to show.
Right, let's try this again. Right, it's on. It's working.
I'm not going to touch it.
Probably for the best.
Probably for the best. We need to come up with a better system for music. I'll worry away on how to figure that out.
is this the case if you had one job?
Who, me or Will?
Well, either of you. Well, you're meant to be building, aren't you?
I'm building.
Well, the biggest issue is it comes from like the way we set up, the way we have OBS set up and everything like that. Because where I have such a convoluted audio system on my machine, like all it breaks all of Tom's recording stuff.
Hence why no audio was on at the beginning.
Yeah.
Let's send that fence down there. we go. We've just hit 1 hour live. Time flies when you're building routes. Right, that's actually.
Like 50 minutes.
Yeah, that is where he is. The Barra.
So look. That's it. That's not far off, I don't think. Signaling centre may be a little bit different.
Yeah, that's one of those things that would have been nice to actually get done.
Just one of those things, you know. We've only
I
got
might have a little scour through the list
couple
to see
of
if there's anything
accidents,
else that we may have a bit more closer to that, to be quite honest. In terms of at least the sort of brick colour, I'm sure we may have something that may resemble something. Right. Let's pop that on. Even though it's not exactly how we're going to be having it, I'm going to put the Google Earth on here as well again. So... some trees. Find them. That's not even the right section. There we go. If we actually look in the tree section, it'd be a lot easier to find them, wouldn't it? There we go.
Put them in a quick list.
I know where they are. It's just I was in the wrong tab.
Tom just likes making his life hard. It's fine.
I need
That's
to actually
fine.
do stuff for the quick list at some point if we're going to start doing the trackside cluster. That'll be a fun thing because that'll take about a week to put all that together. And then my game will probably just dump or something after we do it again. Just going to save it while I just tempted fate there. The game did actually dump earlier on me while I was putting a load of fences in. I was building all the fences around these houses here, and it went dump as soon as I finished the last one. Like put a house in. I was like, marvellous.
Oh, you want to be careful with that, mate. You can lose a lot of work doing that.
I know.
What's the tuft asset? I'm not sure which one you mean.
Oh, do you mean the grass? Tufts? It's off the asset.
no,
It's the JTVP grass, isn't it? The tufts.
I don't know which one. Where are you placing some?
No. It may have just seen it in the list somewhere. Hang on. Yeah, the grass type tuft 1 and 2. So it's them. But obviously these we use usually in the asset block. We actually haven't used these on this route this time around. I don't know if you've done it in these, Mark.
No, I've not used any on my section.
The foliage you'll see is TS Academy stuff this time round. You will see that sort of stuff come back into play on the Highland route.
Yeah, the lush green serves that one better.
Put a gate in there. You get some right finishes with the TS Academy stuff.
Oh, it is decent. It's a decent. Well, most of it's the Liverpool to Manchester set.
Yeah.
For the most part, so it's sort of that sort of thing.
Oh,
it's pretty well rounded set.
Just that, Barry. Evening, Jake.
It'd be nice to get some time and actually make some more foliage, but it's just finding the time to sit down and do it, you know.
Foliage
It's
is
the
one of
time.
them really. Like,
Yeah,
you've
it's
got
the time and making it look. You know, it's got to look spot on. Otherwise, if it doesn't, it's pointless
It
wasting
stands
time
out really
doing it.
badly, doesn't it, if it's wrong?
Yeah.
Foliage is
I
one
mean,
of the big
goodness.
points in TS as well.
Just looking at your bridge there, by the way, Tom, at Westbury.
Yeah, I know
you
it's
know
wrong,
your
isn't
occlusion
it?
underneath it. No, your occlusion underneath it's wrong. You've got the fade set left to right rather than front to
Oh,
back.
yeah, so I'll take it out. I'll sort that out. I'll just take it out for now.
But I was just looking at the bridge there that you've got, and I'm looking myself. I was wondering whether you'd be better off using the generic bridge,
So
the one of the metal ones that we've got. It's just below. So it's below all the CL stuff. I don't know how it'll scale, but I think it might look better than the one you're using there.
Not these ones. These are brick ones, aren't they?
You
Stone.
press M and then scroll up slightly to JT General Bridge. You just press M and then it'll do it.
Oh, general. Oh, that one.
Yeah, I can't see, it's not caught up.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
actually
that
does
one.
look a lot better, doesn't it? Hang on.
But you might have to scale. I don't know how it'll look when it's scaled.
Let me try something.
Evening, Jake. Yeah, GW did use the sort of short sets back when this route was when we based this route, because the Torbay Flyer scenario that is included, you actually passed the 67s on to U12, was it? The one from the mid-morning one from Taunton. Hey, up, Dan.
Evening, Dan. I'm just trying something here. I'm just gonna see if this blends.
Well, the alternative, Tom, is rip your bankings out, rip your urban road out, and put the rural one in. It's a bit thinner, like TTSU's saying there.
I'm just gonna try one more thing. I may actually go with that. I think, to be honest,
I think that looks better than it did.
that don't look too bad, to be fair. If I just sink that down a little bit on the corner, that works in quite nicely. That
Should it have concrete sides?
probably not. I'm gonna have a look at Barry's picture. I've got a picture that was put in. Hang on. So it has actually got the grass banks like that.
It has, but you could use your JT
Yeah.
ones, which look better.
Where are they?
I know you hate doing the lofting those into the ground.
No, it's not a problem. Hang on. I can soon work that around. Just do a little click loft. Handy tip, guys, if you ever want to remove lofts and you can't select them, press L. We only learnt that about 4 weeks ago. Callum's like, oh, you ever done that before? I was like, no. Like, could have done with that about 7 or 8 years ago. But there you go.
It's the same with the terrain explorer
So-
as well. That would have helped.
yeah,
you
the
tremendously.
terrain exports, like, never knew that. Pressing R for road and stuff like that. I've always struggled. I think you was the same, weren't you, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
You struggled for
Yep.
many years. Right, just gonna check that. Make sure it's sitting on. That's right. Yeah, so yeah, S for CD, obviously T for track and stuff like that. Yeah, so I learnt them. Every day is a learning day. Right, that's right. So if we do this. We want embankment number 8. This may not be close enough to where I want it, so I may have to tweak the offset in a second. Yeah, the try 4. I'll do. So what
You
happens with
switch
the
around
switch?
those arrows. Oh,
Oh, go on. You go on. I'll let you
Oh.
started.
So those arrows, if you turned them the other way, the banking would face the other way when you press it, so it would face with the ramp going in towards the bridge.
So you can see in a minute.
Yeah, as Jack says.
So if I click it again now, so I've put it back to its default, and you'll just literally it'll go that way. Which liveries were around here in 2010? You had first Great Western, so 158s, 150s. You got EWS and stuff like that for the freight. You got your jumbo trains that come through here, so the 59s and stuff come through here. Your HSTs in that livery. I mean, I think it was Southwest Trains as well. Yeah. Did Wessex come down here in 2010? Was that before?
Wessex was before that. 'Cause Wessex was before First Great Western.
I mean, you could get away with doing Wessex and stuff on this route. The only little thing that would be probably out is probably just your branding on the stations, but for the most part, you'd definitely be able to get away with doing scenarios on that.
I mean, a lot of the signalling and stuff's as it was in 2010 is as it was when they put it in. Well, a lot of it was V-Signal 70s and 80s, so most of it's still the same, even back to those days, in a lot of places. Not all, obviously. But it's not like obviously if you did the route modern times, you couldn't do anything before 2018 or whatever if you did Reading with full electrification. And that's part of the personal appeal to me is how much more you can achieve with this one. Whereas if you do the modern one, you're very much limited to doing modern stuff because the route looks so inaccurate for older stuff. I mean, of course, if you use your imagination, it doesn't matter. We try not to use imagination wherever possible. But yeah, the general gist of it. And it'll be interesting to see how this sells being a backdated route. Being somebody that prefers that era, I'm hoping it sells real well, but we'll see.
I think it's crossed.
It'd be nice if DCG or AP start making a lot more modern stock, but unfortunately there's none on the horizon at the moment, so it's not potentially not going to be sensible to keep making routes where there's just modern stock. So for instance, if you just did Leeds now, you'd be missing out the stock that's there.
This is going just as well as it usually does.
Well, you're messing with the bridges still.
There we go. I've managed it.
I'm
It
just
was
playing
doing
with all
the
the,
usual trick where it splits itself when you start bringing it down. So I've sorted that side.
I'm just playing with the ground signals in the yard at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm waving to you.
Hello. Oh yeah, the pink train. Yeah, the 31s and the pink carriages. Yeah, you could get away doing scenarios like that. Definitely. So this is
Yeah, I mean,
the
I
sort of
did,
stuff that I can't wait to see. I hope that community do stuff like that with the proper stuff.
There was the stuff before that as well. Going back to the 90s, you had the 37s that used to do the Wayne Bristol stuff and things like that, which
Good
looking
potential.
forward to seeing. There's only there's 19 scenarios I think total, but there's 9 of those are the default swaps and stuff.
The scenario details themselves are actually on the website. If you look in the in development page for the route, they've recently just been put on. I think yesterday. So if you want to have a look at what requirements are needed for the scenarios, and that they are all in there. Those have been updated now.
I mean, we've gone for basically the basic stuff, so it leaves scenario devs all the options for those various local holds and Wessex era stuff and modern era stuff, whatever you want to do, really. Because I mean, this area is pretty suitable for GWR early days as well, mid 2010s.
I'm happy as long as I get my defaults.
You're in your defaults. I need to split that because that's not going to work. I can see it already. It causes me issues, that.
Blame me for this one, Tom.
It's alright, we're nearly there. I've worked with worse roads and stuff. That's
I'm
about
just
there.
lowering all the signals at the moment, but you seem to have put a gantry in the wrong place here.
Over. That's a bad Tom then. We're a course of bad Tom.
It's alright. I think it might be there may be a reason for it. I'll move the signal back slightly.
When was the last train out there? Yeah, 2015. I think, weren't it? When the old model, well, the old station went, the new one came. Sort of that time.
What?
The old Reading. It went in 2015, didn't it?
It was a bit before that, wasn't it? Wasn't it about 2013 when the old... Because they put the flyover in before they electrified it all, didn't they? It was around 2013, 14,
Yeah.
15 sometime, yeah. I'm not sure exactly when.
That sort
It
of
not
may
an
have
area
started
down
in 2014 or 13.
Yeah, they started messing about sort of those early years of the 2010s. I mean, as we've got Reading, it's pretty much suitable for anything back to early, into the 90s and whatever.
There we go. Oh, Barry's got your picture there, Matt. Let's have a look. Cheers for that bridge picture as well. Oh, Nice. We've got the yard stuff there. I can show you the yard anyway.
Cheers, Barry. So what I'm doing at the moment is you see the arrows on the ground signals. The way that the signals have been done originally, is the numbering has been put in wrong by whoever did it, and it didn't have the arrows on, so I'm putting the arrows on to the point to the right tracks and everything.
Just speaking of signals, actually, there's a little fix as well. I'm not sure if you'd ever noticed before with our, if you have a signal idea with W, that has now been fixed, so it actually now displays the full letter. There was something, I think, was it in the mapping wheel?
Yeah, it was the UV mapping on the actual digit itself. That should because it's in the new common library. If when people get the route or the new common library, it should work. It should fix it on all routes.
Check that mind. Yeah, it looks miles better, that bridge, doesn't it?
Oh, cracking! Absolutely brilliant.
That was the one thing that I was looking at with Westbury. I mean, ideally,
This was the first
Again,
stuff I
this
did
is-
as well, to be fair.
there'd be a situation where, in an ideal world, you do it as a custom.
Mhm.
Again, it comes into that category of 230 miles, not a 35-mile route. If that was a shorter route, you'd do it as a custom because you're probably doing nearly every one.
I mean,
With
as
the way
well,
we did MML, but I think it's reasonable enough.
we obviously did our list of customs in November, something like that. And Westbury got put onto
Yeah, it
the
would've been
custom
just
list
after
about
MML,
2 weeks ago.
wasn't
Shows that we need a new Westbury. So, to obviously eradicate the LOD issues that the old one had, we didn't have the source files for the old one, unfortunately, otherwise we'd be able to edit that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where
that's
it
been
came
one of
from.
the bigger challenges dealing with such an old route is just getting hold of the old models and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, a part of it's the old route, but there's more the staff turnover that there's been since then. So, this one was made. Westbury was made by the Chinese development team, which the guys that made the Chinese high-speed route. But I don't know what the names were. I just know
Is
they
it
were from China.
Chengdu Swinning or something like that?
No, the name of the developers. I mean, I
Oh,
can't remember what the name was. But they were the Chinese development team that did that, and then there was various others by Tom Williams, who is no longer with JT, and there was some other devs that I actually don't know the names of that were involved as well. So you got all sorts of different source material floating about, but nobody knows where some bits are, and some bits you're talking about. Like I said, Whistle to Exeter is 13 years old, but luckily, like I said, we did actually get those last week, so you may see something change on some of those bits. You never know. Reading Station, when I've been making the scenarios, it's fantastic getting all the AI going in and out of there because it's
very
with
busy.
the bottleneck across the junction to Newbury. You get all sorts of AI opportunities and stuff.
There's one scenario which is 3 hours long almost, which is the Macon Quarry to I think West Drayton it is, and that comes down here and it does the avoider line. And it starts at Dr. Dave's Junction, comes all the way through the Avon Valley along here down to Reading, and you've got quite a bottleneck when you get into Reading. So you do have a bit of a hold up there, waiting for obviously the express trains to come across, and then you have to cut across all the main line. That's quite a good one to do, especially when you have to sort of like wait your turn. But yeah, you do get some quite nice scenes, which is well I think going to play quite nicely when the community scenarios come through, because you get a lot more going on. You get all the extra livery potential as well with the freeware reskins and stuff like that. You should get some quite nice stuff.
It's limitless
Oh.
potential, really.
Oh,
when you think
huge,
about it.
huge. When you look at all them route potentials where you can go to and from, mega stuff. Melksham branch, something. What? That's your side, isn't it, Mark? On that one.
What's that?
Any work done on
As
Melksham
yet,
branch? Not yet, has it?
nothing major. It looks reasonably good in some areas, although the actual bit of the Melksham branch needs quite a bit of work. I think it'll be more basic stuff that gets done there if we have time. The focus has mainly been on the mainline parts of it. So the only bits I haven't yet seen any attention are the bits from Bathampton to Chippenham and Bradford Junction to Melksham and
Which
Finley
is
Junction.
sort of top end at the minute here.
So I think what will happen with those is more like it'll just be a case of tree swapping and stuff. Because some bits aren't that bad actually. To be honest, it was more the revamping was more necessary, particularly on the older parts of the route, where it was a case of the foliage and everything was literally as it was in 2008.
That the old,
which was a
like
bit
the
of a
old
major
QG
problem.
3Ds and stuff, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's taken 5 months to do this with 2 people. It's doing the route sign, and 3 people
That's
have been
working
involved.
at 2 miles a day
Massively.
as well, isn't it? At least on the swap over.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jake,
you know,
good evening. How are you doing?
like even on the asset side, like it's been non-stop.
It has. It's thick with assets coming through daily, like on
Well, the
a
thing
huge
we've got
scale.
is like when we started doing it, when you start a project, you do a list of stuff that you want and what you think you need, and the stuff that you know you need. So obvious stuff. Let's say the obvious stuff is about the stations between Westbury and Reading. Right, we need customs for those. That's blindingly obvious that we need those. And then you'll go along and you'll get to, for instance, Crofton pumping stations there. So that's obviously something that goes on the list straight away.
Sure, we'll have a look
Bang,
at that.
we're doing that.
That's not been shown on stream yet.
So we made sure that's been done. But then you get to some of the other smaller things. So, for instance, like I said, the Whirlman, which is near Bridgewater, the Parrot Bridge near Bridgewater. I'm trying to think of some of the others. I'm going to have a fly around there. For Flaxborton Station site, which is just west of Parson Street. That was another thing that sort of got added in. It was like, it's a nice little feature for the route, and it is there in real life. I think it was some Kuju model that was there originally.
There's the map.
So
for
it's
Jake.
all stuff like that, which is to try and put different things in, and to overall, from the cab view particularly, give you the feel like you're on the actual route.
This is Crofton Beam engines.
I'm good, thanks, Jake. How are you, mate? Yeah, I remember when B2E came out.
One of my first
When I
routes
went back to
bought
look
for
at this,
JC.
it
That
felt very old. Felt very old.
canals, by the way, are there. These are hopefully going to be set to be fully swapped over. I do aim to get them all. I've got new canal lofts now. We've got a new lock as well, which Callum made last week or so. Mark swapped his
2 weeks ago,
over.
I think.
It's one of my jobs to do this week. Once I've finished.
Having a brief look on some bits that I've worked on if you want.
Yeah, let's go and have a look. Should we go up?
Or if you want to get the pricing information out as soon as it's getting up to 9 o'clock.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah, go on. We'll do that first. So, let me just go and fly back up to Westbury first, and I'll get the information. So, where's that gone? Yeah, the aim of the canals is to they'll be getting swapped to a new loft with new locks and stuff in there, so it'll all match up. Mark's done quite a lot of his already. That is one of my jobs to do this week. So, right, as a question that has been asked, of course, many times over the course of these development streams that we've been doing, is will there be a discount for existing owners of the original route? And the answer to that has always been yes. We've just never given that information out. So, as Scott sent to me, so first of all, South Western Expressways upgraded. So this is for anyone that had the old original route. You'd go for the upgraded. I'm not sure how it's going to go. Whether there's an option where it knows what you've got. Am I right, Mark? Does it know? Do you know this?
As far as I know, it'll detect that you own the original, but I don't. That's not our job to know.
No, I'm not quite sure on that. So it'll all be sorted. The guys know what they're doing. But what will happen is if you obviously upgrade, so you go to this new version from the old one, it'll cost $21.99 for the original owners of South Western Expressways. To buy the route fully out of the box, brand new, if you've never had the route previously, it will be $29.99. And again, for that you get 230 miles of route, many custom assets, all the scenarios and all that stuff. So that's that basically in a nutshell. In terms of release date, I can't give you an exact date, but we do aim to release, and I'm allowed to say this, we do aim to release late next week. So there you go. So we are going to be driving on this route next Tuesday as well. So you'll be able to see that. It won't be released on Tuesday, I can tell you that much. I do know that much, but we will be doing a good drive on the route in a few locations. Not quite sure what we're doing yet. I haven't quite decided what we're going to run. I'd like to try and get 2 scenarios in, but they are quite long runs, so we may probably do an end to end. I think we'll have a look. think probably doing a Reading to Exeter may be the one to do, to be quite honest. Something like that. We'll see. We'll work it out. You didn't catch that, so once again, so I'll bring it out once more for you guys if you didn't quite catch that. So if you're upgrading, if you own the original route, it will be £21.99 on that. If you're buying it as a brand new customer, it'll be £29.99, and the aim of release is late on next week. You should get a scrolly banner like DGG. Did they do that? I didn't know they did that.
In terms of Steve, there'll be default scenarios included in there, and then there'll be the set using payware stocks, so you get both. So basically, anyone can drive it.
What I'll do is I'm going to put a link in as well for the route.
A completely new set of scenarios, because the old ones obviously would be dead by the amount of track work that's been done. So
it's a different route ID as well. So old scenarios, anyone who's ever made an old scenario and released it, it wouldn't work either, because it's a total new ID. And again, as Mark said, it's had a lot of track changes on that. I'm just going to send this out on the Restream chat. So if you want to head to this link, and if you haven't done already, that has got all the scenario information in there. So if you scroll scroll down a slight little bit and expand the description of the route, it gives you everything. So it tells you all about the lines, all the stations you get on the route, which there is 40, is it 40, something like that, 30, 38, 39, 40 stations, something like that. Loads of points of interest on there, tons of them, and again at the bottom it'll talk about all the scenarios, what you get, and it'll give you an outline of the requirements as well, what's needed. And it's not actually too bad in terms of what you get in the scenarios, what you need. They're pretty sort of like same throughout as well, so there's not really much obscurity in them. There's like one or two scenarios that may have something different that the others haven't used. Mainly, I think the Tour Bay Express is probably the most obscured one with the Mark 1s and stuff like that. The 142 Pacer as well, that's used I think in just one scenario, which is the Voyager scenario, because it runs and passes them on that route. But yeah, that's the sort of information you need there.
Just to respond to DJ Snap Attack, it's going to be a release on JT. We're going to get it over to DTG fairly soon after release, but we have no control about when that's released on Steam. So
yeah, I think there's something trend that we work with DTG for that same sort of thing what we're doing. Am I right?
Yeah, it should be, because we've been having our talks with DTG about this and stuff like that. It should be sooner on Steam than our previous routes, but we still have no control about when it's coming out.
Jack, the old South Western Expressways is not available on Steam anymore, nor is it off our website. It got removed about a month ago, something like that. Yeah, about a month now. Obviously getting ready for the new one. But if you do own it, you don't lose it.
As far as I'm aware, DTG are also trying to work on a discount for existing owners, but yeah, again, we don't have any control over that, so that's on their end to sort that out.
So if you do own the old one and that, you won't lose it. It'll still be in your account, whether you have it off Steam or off our website. It'll stay there, and you won't lose that. It won't replace the original. It's actually been cloned, and it's now under a different route ID. So they would actually run side by side. I would have thought the old assets are still in the same location. So nothing should change in that respect, as far as we are aware. But again, it has been cloned into a different route, so it does route ID is different. What I'm going to do is we'll have a little fly up a few little places along the route. So I'll first of all go to Avencliff, because this is it's got quite a nice scene here.
In reply to Dean there, so we've not done anything that should stop that working. So in theory, such as BHBP and other routes should still be able to use the new one as a requirement. Fine, but we've not done anything. You know, if it doesn't sort of thing. But it shouldn't break anything, and it should still be able to be used. So yeah, Avencliff's tiny platform.
This has been modified slightly. It used to be a lot closer together. As you can see here,
the standard track. You have the standard track alignment thing. So whereas obviously in real life it's a lot wider, because it's got the aqueducts over the top, which is still work in progress up there.
Terrain bleed or unpainted? Is there a terrain bleed? I don't quite know.
It's probably because they haven't cleaned them all up yet.
Yeah, there may be a little bit to check over. I'll show you. You can see the canals. Look, so they got the new bridge, the aqueduct, which has the canal that goes over. So you can see it's got it connects up to the new loft that Will's made as well. So Mark's already gone over his canals and he's swapped them over from the other ones. This is something I need to sort out over.
They're not
this
tied
week.
up, and there's a bug with those as well.
Yeah, there's still a texture bug on those, so don't look at those too closely, mate.
No worries. Remember, guys, this is still work in progress. Things may still change in slight areas, and that. So you can see where the track sort of rejoins again into the normal alignment there. So it pulls away. Whereas originally it kept us together all the way through, so you wouldn't have had the clearance to get between these two, this leg in the bridge. So that's that. And again, yeah, the platform got moved apart, so it allowed for that. But it's the original
The
platform.
NLC station, GWR Alpha, and the NLC one's still the original one. Station's on there because, as I said, we've only just got the sources this week. If anything changes, then obviously we'll do it, but I don't think we're going to have time, at least before release, to do anything with those, so they're still going to be the original stations on that section.
So we'll go to Keynsham. Or Keenham. Is it Keenham or Keynsham?
I thought it was Keynsham,
Keynsham.
but I don't know.
You know what I'm like with
Me.
pronunciations.
It's always important to remember that it doesn't mean we're never going to do them, but it also doesn't mean we are going to do them. You know, down the line we might be able to revisit some of the older stations we haven't had time to do.
Not yet, Jack, no.
It's on the list. Callum knows about it. Callum's going to be doing his bug fixes in the next few days once I think he's done Melksham and.
You haven't got the clutter on there yet, I don't think.
Oh, not.
No, I'll put loads of
Have
signs.
you, have
and
you
stuff
put some
there.
more on?
Oh, have you got them all?
I've got signs.
Oh, maybe you have got them then.
White Lake, thank you very much for the follow. Good evening. Yeah, I've got signage.
Yeah, that's the stuff that's there. So you have got it. It's just really bare down the other end. Yeah, that shelter is empty. On one side it's empty. It's weird. That one's got some little tiny benches in there, but I've not put them in. We
Ah,
haven't
right.
got them as part of the model, so whether we do or not, I don't know.
Yeah, stop
Might
load
put
and then
some,
it goes.
Might put some extra ones in, to be fair.
Throw me some locations, Mark. What can we show?
Trying to think what you've got. You got Twerton Tunnel at Bath, just
Oh, yeah.
outside of Bath, which
Well, if I load up to Bath, so ignore Bath when you see it, just so we can get to this location. Bath's still being worked on. You can see the actual the cathedral over there. Is it cathedral?
Yeah, Cathedral.
yeah, that's a new one. Yeah.
Bath Abbey, isn't
So that
it?
was, it had York in there, I think, before.
Yeah. So again, Bath's still being worked on around Sydney Garden and stuff at the minute by Mark. So don't look at everything else yet, but you can see the Abbey there.
Don't look at anything. I haven't done anything there yet. It's awful. See, I've sort of half left it with everything ripped out.
You can see it's pretty work in progress over there still. You got the this is a bin liner terminal, isn't it? As well, you got it.
Yeah.
So we'll go through Oldfield Park. I'm missing that little clutter there, so we won't look at that. Twerton Tunnel's somewhere just over here, isn't it? There we go. You may have seen this in screenshots actually today on the new dev stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing to still to do, obviously, you can quite clearly see there's tidying up to be done pretty much throughout the route. That's kind of what I'm going along and doing and finishing other bits of scenery. Storage space, I'm not sure if that's on the website yet.
I think we
I
usually sort of
won't
figure
like
that
to
out at the
guess.
end, don't we? When it's sort of like when the last installer's made, just before release, and we send that information. They put it on literally at the same time as release usually.
Well, yeah, because there's always stuff going into a route.
Yeah,
constantly,
something may
so-
change at last second. We may change that space size. You get some nice screenshots in the from the turrets.
Yeah.
You can sort of square it up quite nicely and peep over.
No, I completely forgot about making this bridge, this tunnel.
Can you have a look from Bristol down to Western? Is that alright, Mark? Is there anything I can show on that bit yet? Or is it still?
Yeah, the scenery's more or less done. I mean, don't expect the stations to have changed because, as I've said about 5 times, they won't have done. But the route itself,
I'll just fly through down this section because we're not actually that far, are we?
give take. I mean, there's still bits that aren't finished. So Bristol West, you don't have that on your version. I've done Bristol West Freightliner terminal on the route.
See, I haven't got that track update yet, have I? I'll get that on
Because that was there in
Thursday.
2010. Quite a few areas where I need to lower the terrain a little bit because you can see it's sort of catching onto the wide ballast, but that's not a problem. It's only a 5-minute job. Or 5-second job to go along each one of these and just lower them down a bit. Could be eliminated by painting ballast terrain ballast everywhere, but then you end up with miles of wide ballast.
Yeah, Mark was saying actually about the freight line terminal at Bristol. It's being used at the minute, isn't it, for something?
Seen some stone trains loading there recently, yeah.
It's been used for quite a few things, I believe. Mark was saying as well.
Cheers, Barry. I know it's your local, so I'm expecting you to have the most critical eye, and TTSG as well.
We noticed as well, we clock you making some scenarios for the old version of the route as well, so we do look forward to hopefully seeing some stuff again on the new one, fingers crossed. Which, it's nice to still see the stuff is being built for the old one. I know you like doing your mail stuff.
If after release there's something you're not happy with and you really want to get done, I know you've mentioned Bristol, Barton Hill. We haven't put a new shed in there yet. I'm not going to make any promises. I would like to, because I used to have fond memories of when this Talbot Express and everything used to be on Barton Hill. So, you know, I might try and get something done if we can. But if you've said anything after release that you see, feel free to pop a message through with me if you know me on Facebook, or drop JT support thing and just ask for it to go to Mark and Tom, and we'll think about it for a post-release update. As folk will know, when we put a route out, we do generally keep them updated at various spells. So down here's had quite a lot of work because a lot of these rocks and stuff weren't in as you're coming down these St Mary's tunnels. So that had a lot of work here. St Anne's tunnels, not St Mary's. All Saints. Yeah, feel free to get in touch anytime, Barry. Quite happy to have a chat. But yeah, so these aren't custom portals, but they're just a bit closer than what we had because it was old Kuju portals before. They're actually a bit castellated, these ones, but we can't do every tunnel portal. So these were sort of left off the list. There's a little bit of a bug on the left right there. Again,
Did I see a hole there?
Yeah, there is a hole.
Yeah, just needs to tidy up the decal.
We got St Anne's cutting in now because that was missing as well. So that's in with its redstone, sandstone sort of look to it.
This used to be originally a tunnel as well.
Yeah, there used to be a tunnel there. There used to be a station just there as well.
Oh, what? Just, yeah.
I think it was just back where the little lane came down the other side of the cutting.
All right.
Yeah, it's. I mean, hopefully it should make a big difference. I know it's. When I first saw it, when I was missing completely all that stuff, it was a bit of a shame.
So, please note, Bristol's. I've not got the most up-to-date stuff at Bristol yet. We actually have got. Mark's got the bridge in. I haven't got the bridge.
Yeah, I've got the. So I've got now the difference here. I've got
the asset, but I haven't got it.
I've got the parcels bridge over the top there, and I'm going to redo the clutter and get rid of those stupid Z fighting platforms as well. We've got the parcels building now, which is going to be put in, and the bridge that used to go over because that was still there in 2010. So that's all to come. And then there's going to be, for the most part, it'll be general tidying up and focused on getting the station clutter improved. See where I'd love to see a route with Bath Road in. I'd love to see a route.
Like, that was here, weren't it?
Yeah, it'd be fantastic to see that in. It was on the waste ground.
South Western Expressways requirements in terms of like route requirements. It needs the European Loco Asset Pack, and also the US one. Those are only needed if you purchase trains in like the 12th of September 2012 or something like that. Am I right, Mark? Something like that. September 2012.
If you bought TS after 2012, after September 2012, basically you'll need to have the European and US asset packs. Usually we don't have the US one, but the asset devs, the route devs had that enabled from years ago, I believe. So
it wouldn't be easily an easy job to remove it all. The other thing as well is TS Academy, so you need to make sure Train Sim Academy is ticked in your game. Everyone gets that with the base game, but sometimes you can obviously choose to disable that DLC. But if you make sure that's ticked, that'll download and that'll make sure you have the foliage, I think skies and stuff to do with the skies, and also terrain paint. So that is another one you need to make sure you do have. So we'll fly down here. I saw some of there, Jack. Will Tom get the trackside cluttering? Probably not. We've sort of just gone off track a little bit now. Just had a little fly around. Although we have done the triangle. The triangle is virtually finished, so that's one job. What was a park? That weren't there before, was it?
No, it's just basic again. This is Bristol to Exeter that we're on now, and again it is basic remodeling. Although you say basic, it's actually taking a lot of work, but it's not to the extent of some of the other parts of the route because it's the oldest part. But it's just basically been brought up to, particularly from cab view, brought up to modern standards in most areas. The station signage there could get replaced,
Yeah.
I think, before released.
One thing I will say is, am I right in saying that you've changed the skyline of Bristol? That looks a lot more than what it was.
I think I've changed some bits around here. I certainly changed all the buildings next to the track here.
Yeah.
So it was all Kuju, or everything in this was essentially Kuju because it was such an old route. So I've just plopped in JT buildings and stuff in most areas. Generally, if you can see it from the cab, it's had more work done.
Again, that is the sort of focus we've gone with this, is more from a cab point of view.
Yeah, unlike
if you
with
see it from the
our,
cab, it's been focused on. This is still being worked on at the minute. There's cutting to come for this yet. This is
Yeah,
one of the new stations.
So that gives you an idea how it was there before, with that sort of really poor looking bridge over the top. That's getting replaced this week.
That one over
The
there.
last things to do. Parsons Street station got replaced because it was, a really bad kit bash with the stuff. All right, Kev.
Evening, Kev.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
very much, and hope you're keeping well. Long time no see.
You got the port branch there. So as you can see here as well, at the minute I haven't got on my bill, but Mark's added in the Freightliner terminal, which will be there. So
So the Freightliner terminal's missing completely on there, but that on mine, the last week I've replaced all the allotments and stuff on the left, replaced all the buildings on the right, fixed where the terrain's messy, and the terminal itself's in now.
I've not driven that one yet, Torbay. That's probably one of the scenarios I will be doing on the stream at some point. It will be the Torbay Flyer. Probably end up doing them all over time anyway.
So yeah, this has had a complete rework. This is original scenery that you're on, more or less. This little bit, it starts going back to the revamped stuff for here. There's still likely to be some mass replacement of old trees and buildings and stuff via TS tools. Because if you look at some points, there's still Kuju blocks and stuff, whereas they can be replaced with TSA ones. And I've just never had that track there tonight.
Oh, have you?
Over that bridge, yeah.
Top.
Those are the old allotments there, Nigel, so they'll look a lot better when you get the new ones.
Yeah. Will made some new ones for Derby, Nottingham, Leicester, I think, or Earwash at some point. One of them two routes.
I think I made them for.
It was Earwash, yeah, because they were around on the run up into Nottingham. So this section you're into a bit of a cut in here, so there's nothing really to see above.
Yeah, this is really basic here, just to keep it. It was basic before, but it would just be a case of wasting FPS to put stuff up there, and wasting time revamping other bits of the route, to be blunt. So. Just a basic replacement of foliage, and also sort of fixing how poor the original pamphlet was. Down here is where you get the site of Flaxbourne Station in a sec.
I can see it coming up now on the right. I love how he's got like the sort of like it's subsiding, it's sort of like dropped and stuff.
Yeah.
We're missing a signal.
Are we missing a signal?
You did say stop somewhere around here, going west. Is there somewhere around
if
here?
If I've messed with the track, it's possible, maybe. I'm trying to think if I relayed something here. Stop. The tunnel needs fixing though, actually, looking at that.
Yeah, there's a little gap in there. Is it somewhere around here? The signal? We're looking west of that
I will
way.
refer to the cab view.
Back to the drawing
I know
board.
there is a long section somewhere. Whether there's a long section as I've got there or not, I don't know.
Reckon there's a signal somewhere here. Yeah, double check that.
I did a bit of work on Highland, Jack, but we've been working on this. Tom's been. Do you come?
I was
You
doing
came straight
Barrow
off Barrow Hill,
Hill.
didn't you?
I did Barrow Hill. Whilst you were sort of, as I was finishing Barrow Hill off, you was preparing this. So you was doing all the swaps
Yeah.
and stuff, weren't you? So by the time I finished
Yeah.
Barrow Hill, it was ready for me to come and join onto this and get going, which was literally obviously the day after Barrow Hill, but actually was straight on to getting onto this.
Yeah, because I've done about 2 weeks worth of work at a laying track and stuff on
Mhm.
the Hope Valley, and then I did
We had
stuff for Highland as
I
well.
think we had about 2 or 3 weeks on the run up to Christmas, like getting going with this.
Well, you guys did. I didn't.
Oh, you was on holiday, weren't you?
I was on holiday. Yeah.
Extended holiday. So
Do
again,
you
this
have
is
anything where you can see where that signal is, Barry? Oh, I have got diagrams and stuff, but
got all ivy hanging off this as well. I think it's the first time I've actually seen this.
This was one of Callum's earlier assets, wasn't it?
I don't think
He's-
I've ever
he's done
actually
a
noticed it.
cracking job
I've never really seen it.
oh, here we go. I'm guessing it's going to be off the footbridge. Yes, it is. Right. It
The
looks
one
like
there,
it's on an old. It looks like it's on an old post, so that would suggest that it should be there. What year is that? 2018. Right. I'm going to have a look on Flickr and see if I can see. It wasn't as overgrown in 2010, but yeah, it looks like there should be a signal there.
Yeah, there may be a slight little bit that needs touching up on the terrain page, Jack, but that's something that Mark will check over as he runs through the route. So that's...
Yeah, I mean that's the last. So that's the last sort of thing we do usually.
Yeah, this is the old
Yeah, there was
MOD
a signal
fuel
missing, Barry.
depot or something.
Cheers,
I think.
Barry.
That's all disconnected.
That's it. That signal's in now.
But hey, nice. Western Supermare's not been touched yet, has it? On my build.
No, not on my build either. That's the last sort of town to do.
I won't show that. Just a little flyover. So these are some of the original stations. These haven't actually been had any attention to them really. Just obviously the scenery around them.
Yeah, part of the touching up phase will be to actually finish off some of these areas. Generally go through in a day, and just my way of working is to tie everything up at the end, tidy up the loose ends. That's why you'll notice on my section there's probably more loose ends than yours, because I think you do it differently to me.
Yeah, I just sort of just go through it as and then. I mean, my stuff really it is there. The only stuff I need to do is trackside clutter. What I'm doing tonight. That happened. I will be doing some in a bit anyway. I'll be doing some after the stream because I'm still going to be doing some stuff. So there's that. I've got Reading Station clutter to do.
I've just put
getting
that
done.
signal. That signal sorted. The foliage, yeah, as you can see. So if you look, compare your 2018 shot, 2010 shot, I've got it more on the walls than it was in 2018. It's grown up more.
Updated crossings and stuff like that as well. So where does the line go into Owen? Right, so we are currently somewhere around here. This is the Bristol to Exeter section. So it's got 5 routes, I think this route all in, 5 different routes. So if you start off down here at Exeter, you can head straight up down to Bristol there, or up north to Bristol. You can also have the option to turn off at Coglow Junction, and then you can head over east to Westbury. Then you can have the option to either take the route north, or you can even continue east further and then go to Reading. So, that's the longest run you can do on the route. In that respect, if you go end to end like that, if you wanted to, to be fair, you could go even longer. You could go from Exeter up to Bristol, then around via Bath, and then down that way if you wanted to. You've then got, obviously, you can do like the Weymouth runs from Castle Carey up to Bristol. So you've got the Avon Valley, then you've got the section that goes to Chippenham as well. So there's many routes. Again, I will put the link in the chat, so it'll go across all 3 platforms here. So that link gives you the full lowdown on all the route information, scenario details as such as well. Another thing as well, guys, if you haven't done already, you can sign up on the website, and you can sign up to an email thing. Basically, so when the route's released, you'll get an email instantly, and it'll tell you that the route's out, so you get that notification, so you don't miss it. Iceman, 12573. Good evening. Thank you very much for the follow. There's there's 4 free roams as well. Yeah. So you got, if I remember correctly, you got Reading, Bristol, Westbury, and Exeter. St David's. So yeah, there's 4 free roams and altogether 19 scenarios, which includes the payware versions with the more accurate stock, and the default ones which use the European local asset pack stuff like the 166, the HST, 47, the 37, and their respected like wagons and stuff like them packs, just so people can use them out of the pack if they don't have all the requirements. Same method as we've done with our past releases like Middle and Mainline and all that. Got a lower crossing here.
I'm actually following you along the route here, just tightening bits up as you
Oh
go.
yeah, that's quite a
Yeah.
handy way of doing it really, because if anyone sees something, you can just quickly go over it.
Well, I've seen it on your stream and sort of
Right.
seen
What?
it.
I don't even know what level crossing. What's this level crossing? I don't
I've
know
actually
what-
fixed that message I was trying to do. What?
What's this level crossing we're at? Yeah, it's the first one.
I can't remember the name of that one.
Some of these we
It's actually
we've
more
signed
work
them.
done on that.
Oh, is it?
Keep up default scenario as well, as long as I'm on the team.
Will loves the default
Probably,
scenario.
We'll probably have to keep those up as a matter of
Sort of
rule
consistency, really.
because the issue we've got is if we stop doing those, then we're gonna have to go back to doing it really basic scenarios. And I think the balance is to give people that have got lots of stock that opportunity to drive lots of stuff, and then the people that have only got the default stuff the opportunity to drive just the default stuff. Because if you went and did careful with my words, half-baked scenarios, nobody would want to play them because at the end of the day, you might end up using 4 pieces of stock, but 3 of them somebody might not have, and then this person might not have, and then the person that does have them might say, well, that's crap, I wanted a perfectly, accurate scenario sort of thing. So this is the best way we've got at the minute, is for actually matching it off against each other.
It's also
Whilst
nice to
trying
have
to
something you
cater
can
to
run out
more
of the box
people
as
as
well.
well.
Yeah, that's it. We like to provide that option. You can run out of the box if you haven't got the other stuff. I mean, even if
That's
you
been
didn't
terrible.
want to run the payware stuff, you didn't have all the stuff, you can. There is a way you can get around from still playing it if you are missing like one thing. You can, when the error comes up, it'll tell you missing whatever it is. You can actually press F2 and then click cancel, and it'll run the scenario. Even if you are missing like one of the items or something like that, you just not then see it in the actual scenario. This is the this hasn't been touched up at my end yet, but Mark has. He just mentioned he has actually finished the area up here, so this has changed. This is a new custom.
Yeah.
Will Junction, yeah, I will do. We're getting that way.
Trying to think what's this. The part of World's not been done yet because I've not done the branch. So the only bit I've still got to do the branch. I'm trying to think how much to did on the uphill side of World. The roads and crossings still need work as well because there's got weird spawning going on.
Not where we are.
All part
World.
of the fixing phase.
So this is the junction. Yeah, that section's not been worked on yet down there.
So you can see that's the original scenery down there. The old houses and everything, the flicker and all sorts.
I was looking for the signal.
Oh, signal. Okay, I'm going to say the signals down here haven't, unless the only signals I've changed down here from the original route is if either they're broken completely.
Taunton had quite a
Oh.
bit of work, didn't it? And
Yeah, Taunton's been redone, particularly with approach control and limited aspect. So where they've got signals that haven't been done properly with limited aspect. So none of the junction signals had limited aspect on. So you'd be coming up and you get a green and a feather. Now you'll get brought down to a more sensible speed and yellow signals before you actually get the road to go across the junctions, which is obviously quite a big deal. So it'll make it easier for scenario placement. Creation.
I think that's it. The new series
Yeah.
just ended there.
Yeah,
Go
it
back on
stops
the old
there
stuff.
and there's a gap and it comes back.
So this will be changing. It's on obviously where the line comes back in off Western there. How frequent are the
so he's
portals? There's
actually-
quite a lot of portals actually on the route, isn't there? There is a
Oh
lot.
yeah, they're quite frequent. Quite frequent. Again, that's the sort of thing. If you're making your scenarios after release, you can always drop us a message and say you want a portal. Would like more portals. I'm not saying we'll do it, but it's certainly something for consideration. Job to do.
Yeah, I haven't struggled with scenario creation for portals. They've not been bad at all.
They are certainly on the newer section. They're pretty well, even on the older one. To be fair, they're nearly every station.
That's it. It's Uphill Junction, isn't it? The other side.
Yeah, Uphill Junction's where the Western line comes back in.
We're heading towards Bridgewater now, aren't we?
No, Highbridge and Burnham first.
Highbridge first, and then Bridgewater, and then it's Cogload.
Very sort of open area down here. It's quite farmers and fields and everything like that. It's open scenery.
It's been a long time since I've driven down this route as well. I took my first drive back down here when I did a test of the Voyager scenario I put together. So, sort of like a bit of a reminiscent, really, of I used to drive the old original Bristol to Exeter.
Yeah, I mean the main thing that's happened down here is foliage replacement and bridge replacement, and then terrain and stuff like that where needed. So if it was only slightly wrong, it's probably not been done, the terrain. If it was wildly wrong, then we'll changed it. So particularly the most sort of extreme example of that is Western Supermare.
Did you add all the caravans?
Yeah, I added all of them.
I bet you had
I
fun putting them in.
added some more. I think I'll probably put some more stuff
My
in
God.
between.
That looks about as fun
I
as it
guess-
was when you put solar panels in.
It gives the desired effect from the cab. It's a little bit repetitive from in the air. It's a massive sort of park. Cheers, Ben.
Thank you. It's good to hear. We hope it gives purchasers many hours of enjoyment. So where we are now, we're not far from Highbridge, I don't think.
Yeah, so this is the section really that's had the least done to it. Now we're getting into this sort of section between Uphill and Highbridge is probably the least different bit. You have our Western Mainline and South Western Expressways. They won't need any other products. No, you'll get it for $21.99 because you own the original South Western Expressways. You just need to make sure you got the US loco and asset, US United States loco and asset pack, US loco and asset pack. I can't even say it.
Right, Mark, you sound like you're struggling.
I just struggled. Couldn't speak. Tom's gone very quiet. His mic's gone.
Hello?
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm just flying around, just looking around and enjoying myself.
Unfortunately, that's not something that can be done, Dean. It's to get a route built on would be. I don't even want to talk about the prices. I mean, for a route like MML, you're talking over 20,000 in terms of spending to get a route like that done.
New bridge.
Very expensive things to make, so it's not just something where you could hire somebody for a week. Yeah, that's the. So I'm going to do a bit more work there with the terrain, I think.
Is this the River Parrot?
Yeah. No.
No.
That's the. I want to say that's the King Sedgemoor Drain, but I'm not sure. Might not be. I can't remember what it is. Or is it the River Huntsville? I can't remember.
Can I repeat the price? Certainly. So again, let me go and get it. So for
Should we
anyone
get
that's,
numbers
I'll go for that again. So again, for anyone that's just joined us quite recently, so we covered the prices earlier. So for anyone that already owns the original route, you will get a discounted price of £21.99. The route itself, when you put that in onto your like your basket and go through, it should detect automatically, so it'll know what you have and it'll deduct that price for you, and then you can obviously go and enjoy that way. If you're a new customer, you haven't had the original route before, it will cost you £29.99. You'll get exactly the same stuff there as what we've covered this evening, and then you'll be able to go along on your way and enjoy it. Also, we covered the sort of like aim for release as well, is hoping for late next week. Can't give exact day number in the month, because if we do that and we miss that, it looks a bit silly. We don't want to disappoint you and give you a false hope. But yeah, we do aim for late on next week. We will be driving this on Tuesday next week on our next stream as well. It won't be releasing on the Tuesday, but you will be able to watch the first drive on a stream as well.
Yeah, won't be coming out on Saturday or Sunday.
No, yeah, in the weekday, like usual. A usual thing we do is a weekday.
Yeah, we try to avoid weekends because our support staff are out and stuff like that. So if there are any issues, it takes the whole weekend to get fixed and stuff like that. So.
I forget how long this section of route is. I'm just flying through it.
Yeah, Dean. So with cable loss, it's something we've been talking about this week. Actually, is new trackside clutter, because we've got so much of it that's old now. It's basically a case of it all needs replacing. So it may well be something that we look to do gradually. Certainly, cable traffic will be a part of that. Will's laughing because he's thinking you get.
No.
I'm I know he's laughing at.
I'm laughing at that comment. Discount code Tom Spads. That has to be a discount code.
I don't think we have the authority to do.
I wish we did. Oh, could you imagine the discount codes we put in?
We're just arriving at Bridgewater. This is the facility for the nuclear trains. Bean.
He's not allowed to do it in the actual voice.
I've done it before.
Copyright strike.
Bean.
Well, that goes out.
Well,
for recording.
Thank you very much. This
Tom.
is another new bridge that's recently been put in.
You've got the low LOD on it there.
Oh, have I?
Yeah, well, it appeared when you were going towards it.
I didn't clock that, to be fair. So hopefully I'll get that in the next build, won't I?
Can't remember what the origin of the Bean joke was.
It was on Call of Duty, someone was called Bean.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, it was
shouting
Mr.
Bean.
Bean.
We've been very nice. It's just stuck. We're just now, because we play Call of Duty, like me, Mark, Will, Matt as well. We're just randomly just drop a random bean at each other on the microphone. But we've got to do it in a Mr. Bean voice. So we're coming towards Cogload Junction, I think now. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, so the bit south of Cogload's had a little bit more done on it in most areas, because it's going to be used by more people, for the new section. So you'll see there's more in the way of terrain, particularly on that section, rather than there has been on this section. Although it's, for the most part, it's still the same sort of thing.
There's a good balance and consistency though throughout, I'd say.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a case of making sure the foliage and stuff's consistent. The idea was to make sure that the new section didn't have amazing foliage everywhere, and then like this new section just had the old Kuju stuff. That was the real main thing to make sure of, and then try and just bump it up in terms of how it looks along the way, and particularly on the operational side of the signals bit.
Oh, Barry's beat us to Coglow Junction. Here we go. Here comes Cogload.
That's the best side to have a look, because you get the full banking effect and everything. Weird bridge that, with the sort of non-symmetrical look.
So this is the line that then goes back to Westbury and over towards Reading. So we're heading towards Taunton. So at the minute, on my build, I've not got the updated stuff, but that will come for me later in the
Yeah,
week.
so your scenery will just stop it before you get to
Just
Taunton.
sort of changes somewhere over here, doesn't it?
The rugby ground where it stops.
Yeah, so we've got rugby ground, and then it's sort of here, isn't it? Yeah, it's there. That boundary on the crossing.
Yeah, that's where it changes. That's what I've been working on this week, getting that all fixed up.
Shouldn't fly through here.
Yeah, that's the original scenery on this bit. So all that housing state and stuff at Taunton's gone. This will all be seen in finished form on next week's stream, assuming Tom drives down here.
I think we will end up probably doing that. To be fair, driving from Reading to exits to Reading. We'll do. I think you might do your early morning one. Wait, it stops at Taunton.
Pretty decent light on that, yeah. So this is sort of where the old cider factory was, I think, and it's sort of in the era when it was half knocked down. Well, the main factory being knocked down, but the footbridge was still fully in existence. The caravan site is there, but the housing stuff that they've put there now wasn't actually there then.
Evening, Josh. How are we doing, mate? Couldn't be in tonight.
Yeah.
Working in another work meeting. But no, not a problem. Thank you very much for popping in. It's good to see you as always. Hope work's not been too hectic either way, even though you've been working late.
No Steam Outsourcing hours included in release, and no.
Not this time round.
153s have run on, certainly, on this route over the years. Not on the Coglow to Castle Carey bit, but on the rest of it they have.
It's a Victory Crossing.
Yeah, there's 150s everywhere.
You get your 158's little pop up around the Bath and Bristol, Westbury areas. Hello, APT. Good evening. You got Bradford on Tone. That's what we mean with the spawning of cars currently at the crossings. A bit.
Yeah, they're spawning everywhere. I'm going to replace all the boards on them as well, because they're, really in a bit of a state.
This will be merged onto South Wales for the Arriva services. No, as far as I'm aware, probably. I don't know. Don't think it probably could. Someone does. If someone knows how to merge routes, manage to find a way to do it, it could be done. But we ourselves don't have any plans on doing stuff like that.
We don't have a route for South Wales either.
No.
The biggest pawn in it, to be honest.
I think I know what I mean. Like people mean, like if you mean from like doing South Wales coastal
the DCG one,
the
yeah.
DCG one, but I don't know how you even start doing stuff like that. It's a whole world of wizardry and magic. Very complex.
Tom only learned route building a couple of weeks ago. So.
I know. I've been let loose. This bit's been reworked, hasn't it, around here? This is the new sheds, isn't it? The old shed.
Yeah, this is where Wellington Station used to be. So you got the good shed and everything. There was nothing there before. There wasn't even there wasn't actually any nod to this at all, which was a bit disappointing. So I made sure we got that put in.
Evening, Benedict.
Doing all right. It's a nice view from in there, looking back up the hill, and you get a nice screenshot as they come past the actual place. Pretty cool. As they're coming, there, you sort of get through the. Well, no, more zoomed out, Tom. You don't just have to place the camera in there.
I get the gist.
Will knows what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, the old platforms there. Look.
No, it's still done it in the wrong place, but okay.
Never mind anyway.
I
get your gist.
Tom said.
It's a big station, weren't it?
Cheers, Barry. Yeah, I definitely do agree with you. One of those things, if we had the time and the money to just go and do that, then we would. Hello, Scott. We do.
Scott.
We do. I may cause in trouble.
Giving Tom a headache.
He only decided at 7:20 it was going to join us. Caused all manner of issues.
Yeah, just a couple.
Sorry, too.
Right.
It's all right.
Wasn't
You
expecting a
forgive him.
3-man stream for a while.
Don't know. They keep telling me to come on the stream. I come on the stream the moment I'm on the stream.
So
I don't
this
mind,
area's
Tom, mate.
changed as well. Mark's finished this area.
Well, this has been completely rebuilt this week.
This is all old.
So if
school,
you, yeah, that's you see it's floating for starters.
So that'll be something to look out for next week. You can
You'll
see obviously the
mention another
old.
lead-
Oh, we're coming as white ball and Tiverton stuff, aren't we?
Yeah, so if you look at white ball now and then let the guys compare with next week, you'll see how much of a difference there is there with the cutting.
So if you're going to be
But there
joining us
isn't
next
one.
Tuesday, sort of picture this view. I'll sit there for a minute and try and remember this view for next week. Because
Yeah,
it's
this
Tell you
is
what,
probably the biggest change on the
massively,
week.
massively
I'll
changed.
take a screenshot so we can compare
Yeah,
it
go on.
next
Let
week.
me. You taking a screenshot there? Do you mean do it?
That's alright. Yeah, you
I've got
do,
one.
you
I've
do.
got one there.
Otherwise, I'll get the JT banner in it. So.
So I'll take that, and next week we'll compare.
That took literally nearly a full day to do all the scenery around here.
I mean, if you look at that now, that's it's all so different.
Yeah, because the whole hill had to be redone, and then we had to redo the whole thing back to the curve. So all the terrain had to be completely redone. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, you even got the wrong East End portal there as well.
Yeah, that's the wrong portal on there. You come back onto the remastered stuff soon.
This is another new bridge that came in quite recent.
The brick shed is at Wellington, which is where City of Truro was the first loco to do 100 miles an hour in 1904. There's Wellington between Taunton and Tiverton.
It's weird how Bristol Temple Meads to Taunton has no super elevation at all. Taunton Expert has it on most corners. You've been doing some work with elevation, haven't you?
Yeah, there's various bits have got super elevation on now. It's
Think
not had a
a lo-
full relay.
Quite a lot of
amount of
areas were
time
built,
that-
weren't with the
them.
easements, but weren't enabled.
Yeah, so I mean, most of it you should see elevation on. Certainly, like you say, south of Taunton and Taunton to Reading. Oh, the old route. I mean, there's far more in this new route than the old route.
Oh,
terms
there's
of the
so much
elevation.
more.
But I mean, I'm talking just with the elevation side of things. I've been going along. It's taken forever to do it. Smoothing gradients and stuff like that. There's the odd bit where the gradients just will not smooth because it's breaking the track. There's the odd one of those, but most of them, 90% plus, have been sorted out.
Christoph, thank you very much for the follow. We're heading towards Tiverton Parkway now. There's some
Tiverton
areas as well.
Comes to the
Sorry,
bit that Tiverton Junction's one of my favourite little bits.
Did you relay some of the track in here?
No.
Not this one. I know you've done some areas, haven't you? Like not Tiverton. Taunton's had a relay of track.
Tiverton Junction had a bit of a relay in some
was it
parts as well.
Right.
Taunton had a full relay, Exeter's had a full relay. There's a few other areas that I can't remember off the top of my head that have had full relays. Reading obviously is brand new. And everything up to Southcote Junction was done by the original developers, and then we've sort of finished the rest of it.
Some other good news is we've now got road motorway.
I've got a
And
cross
traffic.
barrier, which I've
So, wait.
haven't forgotten to put on there. I've put them on further south, but I've obviously not put them on just there,
Ah,
which is a bad mark.
bad mark. But yeah, we've now we've fixed our motorway road. It has traffic. So that literally came in over the weekend. So
Some
you'll see
naughty
cars.
transit drivers on there as well.
Naughty.
Yeah.
Look at him speeding. He's on the right mission. Him.
Yeah, it added some variation to the traffic now, so we tend to go different speeds and stuff like that. Every so often you'll get the odd transit van doing 110.
It's only right, isn't it?
It's only right, true to life.
True to life. So this is the site of the old station, Tiverton Junction.
Yeah, so this is Tiverton Junction, where the station used to be. Shut. Was it about 86?
Something like that. So Terry Bartlett's put in there, so the famous Wellington Bank is the most challenging bank for all steam locos since City of Truro. I don't know this sort of stuff. I don't know my steam gen.
Mark's a walking Wikipedia, so it's fine.
Mark knows some of the gen as well. He relays.
Well, most challenging in terms of what?
Climb?
Certainly good. Well, it's not. It's certainly for more challenging climb further south, but it's a good climb for different speed ranges. I find you can start certainly going both directions. It means the loco's got to work hard at speed rather than a slow slog. If you come out of Exeter on a scenario, if you make a steam scenario or whatever, and you come out of Exeter, you've got a real battle on your hands all the way for about 20 miles to Whitemore, 21 miles, something like that.
Ooh, that's. I've just seen Barry put a link of double. Well,
My
not sorry,
chat stopped
top and tailed 57s on the short sets there.
Yeah,
So very nice
I remember
potential
going
to be
on
had.
those back in. Went on those back in 2010. They were good little services. Then
Shell
the
garage?
67 did the painting ones. Yeah, so this is one of the new petrol stations that we've got. So this is the site of Cullompton Station. That's where you used to have a station there.
Mhm.
Platforms in the bushes, which there weren't before.
Oh yeah, crash barriers are real up.
Yeah, so I did them further south, they're not up there. Cheers, Kemp.
Even in Decamp. Thank you.
We need some more newer cash barriers as well, to be fair.
Yeah, they're on the list to be done when I get around to it.
Sorry, Will.
Bad team. Class 43, good evening.
Evening, class 43.
GB.
So they still
Nice,
need the
nice, thank
inclusions
you.
as well, yeah. So on my section, you'll see I haven't got bridge occlusions and all this stuff. That's again, you'll see the terrain on the
No, you got
track
one-
and
you
stuff.
got one
All
there.
part of the. Yeah, I've got them on
That
odd
was a
ones,
test.
and then
I
not on
assume
others.
you was testing for
I
that
did
bridge.
that first screenshot probably, but yeah, I've still got all that stuff to do. That's why my section doesn't look complete at all.
Evening, class 43.
This isn't the branch into Western Supermare, no, this is the main
No.
line. The Western branch is on the route.
It's just not been revamped yet.
Be a day job. Probably Thursday, maybe Friday.
Oh, was that the bridge I did where I did the wrong bridge?
There was one down here for a funny story. You did the wrong
It
bridge.
was
didn't
one
you,
of
Will?
ones down here, yeah.
So we wanted to get them done as a custom asset, these M5 bridges, and one of them will manage to do the wrong one.
Yeah, because I was following a cab ride and I didn't realise that about like I was counting the bridges on the cab ride and I didn't realise that at some point in the video it clips forward like a couple of miles, so I just completely made the wrong bridge.
So it's which one's this one? This is
Oh, it's the Howling
Helen
Bradninch.
Bradnich. Get another old station there.
Yeah, Stoke Cannon's got a custom.
Not too far from there now, are we?
No, we're coming down towards that area. I like this section coming down through Stoke Cannon. It's when I'm towards Stoke Cannon. So it's coming down towards the route at the minute, but I like the embankments and everything.
If you get
If
the
you go
light
back
on the
onto
right
the
side. As well.
curve, if you go back to the curve further back, I really like the sort of marshy feel and everything.
Mhm.
But the curve at the top of that straight, I really like the way it sort of leans in.
Yeah, you can get the nice morning light on that as well. You get some decent screenshots. Are you able to explain the differences between the A4s there, Mark, to Class 43 Ericsson? Do you know anything about them more than you'll know more than me? I'm
So
not
long
a
ago.
Steam connoisseur.
I think there's one. No, I wouldn't like to speculate. Honestly, I can't remember. I think the A4 Pacific class was mostly preserved examples or something like that, and then there's the British Railways add-on pack, which has got the other scrapped variants, and then they only are one same. But honestly, I can't remember.
Can you fix this bridge, please? when it catches you.
Oh, that bridge, I fixed that.
Have you?
This week.
I'll shut up then.
So he's just trying to make you look bad now, Mark. We've been doing it to him all stream. He's trying to turn the tables.
Barry, not sure if you're saying I've sent somebody a whisper. If you sent me a whisper, but I can't see any whispers on here, mate. From you.
Stoke Cannon is incoming.
Yeah, you got this custom box as Stoke Cannon. So all boarded up and no steps out on it.
I love these signs. Just give it a
Yeah, they just have that little bit of
it adds a little bit more to it.
A little bit of
adds a
character,
little
isn't
bit
it?
of a character, yeah.
You see these signs all over the shop. There's a couple more cans going to do one at just near Reading West. I think it's Oxford Road, and there's also one when you come out of Westbury as well, heading
This bridge will
away.
have a broken already, and the
Yeah.
scenery is not finished yet. These signals, I'm not sure. Certainly in 2010, these signals up to just north of Cog load of control from Exeter. I think they still are actually. So the signalling along here is in this area, certainly in 2010, was very much still the 1980s re-signalling job stuff. That's not finished either. Needs some fencing finishing.
floaty signs.
But it's very much the 1986 sort of signalling. Not really changed in terms of its actual arrangement.
Let's
You
look
might as
down
well stop at Cowley Ridge, Tom, because
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, Exeter's not done yet, is it? I like this view down here with the.
Yeah, that's one of my favourite little views. That
I
little
think this
bit
was one of
there.
the first shots you
That was
showed.
that was where I started.
Yeah, the sort of like opening of the announcement of the route, weren't it? Oh, yeah, Calibrage is just here. I'll sort of end on this. I'll sort of end here. So that's not been touched yet, just up that way. So you'll see all that next week. So
Oh, teasing.
yeah, along with Reading. So what I'll do now is I'm gonna go back to Westbury. We'll show you that section to Reading next week. I'm gonna hold that. Keep it. There's still sort of a few little bits to be done. Obviously, the station clutter at Reading hasn't been fully finished yet. It has been started, but all the signs need to go in. I'm going to be doing that like tomorrow and stuff. And there's a few little bits of the buildings to still go in at the works here at Field. Other than that, though, it's more or less done down that bit. Trackside clutter didn't come today, but that will come in. I'll do it. I did the triangle at Westbury though. We managed to do the triangle, which is more or less there. I just need to make sure there's nothing else I've missed. I think maybe a couple of trees and bushes maybe still put on, but we've done that. So I'm
Apparently,
happy.
I've got to make a load of trackside clutter. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, Mark's still giving you a load of work to do as well now, on top of the work
It
you've
looks
already got.
well, as well.
Hey, we've got to keep you busy, Will. Yeah, it's not far from done there. I've just got a couple of bits just to check over, but it's virtually done. Maybe a few trees still plonk on, but that is one of the things I did want to do. So good stuff. Well, we enjoyed it this evening, guys, and hope you're happy with all the information we obviously passed on to you. So keep your eye out. Obviously, we'll be back on here driving next Tuesday. We'll pass on the information later, probably back end of the week just to get all that sorted. So that'll be down with Scott to sort out and post that to you guys. Also, of course, you've had the prices and all that sort of stuff. So fingers crossed, not long now. We're not far off. Light is at the end of the tunnel, guys. Thank you very much for joining us, and also thank you again, Mark and Will, as well, for joining and keeping the chat going. I think they've
Anytime,
gone.
bud.
Oh, they're here. I thought they were all quiet then.
Yeah.
Oh, what are the prices? One last time, we'll do the prices. So, for existing owners of the original route, it will be £21.99 on an upgrade. Brand new owners that haven't had the previous route, it will be £29.99. Aimed release is late next week. And that is that. So thank you again, guys. Have a good week. Take it easy. Stay safe as always. And we'll see you next Tuesday, same time, same place. I'm not sure if who's with me next week, if I'm on my own or not. I say if Mark wants to join, you're always welcome. Especially for the drive and that.
See how it goes.
And
I might be busy with
course.
transport.
But yeah, we'll see what's what. The guys might be building assets, so we'll see. Yeah, Will's got a list as long as his arm now to build stuff. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. We'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.
Bye,
Have a good
guys.
night, all.